ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting him with body punches, and I heard him actually, he was crying there. You're saying that Briggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Production.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. Finally, the Manny Pacquiao, Jessie Vargas prediction show has arrived, where instead of talking politics and the ins and outs of boxing, we finally get to break down not one fight, but at least three good fights and a fourth one for all you hardcores out there. And we do have a couple of news and notes. I thought we were not going to be able to talk about this or not need to talk about this, thinking that it was just a rumor. But the WBA has made it official. Shannon Briggs versus Lucas Brown for the regular WBA championship. And then Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko for the super. We're also going to break down and preview and predict Nonito Donaire versus Jessie Magdaleno. Huge step up for Magdaleno. Are you putting your money on him? Oscar Valdez versus someone who I thought was Ashiawa. It is not. We'll see if our hardcore lower weight listeners call in to tell us anything good about this. And then last but not least, Manny Pacquiao, Jessie Vargas. Who you putting your money on? Remember that number 1-425-569-5241. And if you want to call in internationally, absolutely free, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold it back with pay-per-view. My drop. I know my drop. I know my situation. I want to fight.
Production.
But it's going to be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For all those that joined us yesterday for a quick 30-minute on-demand episode, I owe you. We will be back, but today we're going to head on over to Gainesville, Florida. Talk to me with the good doctor, Boxing MD. How you doing?
Finally, a prediction show. No more politics. We get to give our picks. You know, to me, unfortunately, this fight's not competitive, but, you know, the people who are going bold and picking Jessie Vargas, they get bragging rights on this show, because on record, we get to hear if you call Jessie Vargas for a knockout, and Ness or I, who may not pick him, picked it, you guys have, bragging rights over us. So,
Yeah, I mean, Suleiman, right? He's the one picking Jessie Vargas, as far as I know. Let's head on over to another. I'm kind of hating now. Two Sunshine States, right? One, sunny California. Steven, the producer.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another show. Finally, a preview show, like MD said. November's finally here. We've been waiting for most of summer for it, and now that we're finally hitting the middle of fall or the beginning of fall, we finally got some fights to talk about. And I'm not going to lie to you, that Nonito Donaire and Jessie Magdaleno fight has got my blood pumping.
Definitely, man. This month of November is going to be jam-packed. It seems like every weekend is going to be a good fight, starting with, obviously, the Manny Pacquiao fight. First thing I want to say is this is definitely a fight you want to buy, right? I know when it was first announced, Jessie Vargas probably wasn't everyone's favorite choice, but over here on TBV, we understand the reality that we live in. And it's more economical for Top Rank and Bob Arum to do business with themselves. Hence, Jessie Vargas versus Manny Pacquiao. Now, it's not necessarily a cherry pick because, Vargas is the champion. But Manny Pacquiao doesn't necessarily need a title to be great. But pretty good undercards. I guess we'll take it one at a time. I mean, do you give him any shots, guys? Because I went back and watched a few of Pacquiao's fights, and all I seen was greatness. I should have been watching poor Jessie's fights again instead of reliving all the highlights that Pacquiao has in his career. So it made it even more difficult. What does stick out, though, is the size difference. And you know, we've been here before, right? Margarito was taller than Pacquiao, and most people are. But Jessie seems to be very, very much the bigger guy in this fight. Do you think that makes any bit of a difference, Doctor?
Like in this fight in itself, I don't think it makes that much of a difference because we saw like guys like Brandon Rios, who obviously had a size advantage over Pacquiao. I mean, he was literally a punching bag, right? And I just don't buy so much into the Saddam Ali knockout because if he did not achieve that, right, we wouldn't even be considering Jessie Vargas for a competitive match against him, right? Because before that, he had 3 fights in a row that we saw him on TV where he showed no power and he showed to win gifted decisions, and he kind of lost his name became irrelevant for a little time until he got the Saddam Ali fight, which he was an underdog and won. So I just don't see Jessie Vargas being the guy to set up that power right hand, which a lot of people think he has against Manny Pacquiao. Because besides Marquez, Manny Pacquiao has shown to still have a really good chin. And that, you know, I think if you take that away, obviously that it still happened. I mean, I don't think we'd be questioning Jessie Vargas having the power to knock him out.
I think it's the union between the new trainer and Jessie Vargas seems to be what the boxing scribes are banking on, that this is a resurgence in Jessie Vargas.
And Heredia, am I correct? Like his strength and conditioning?
I don't think you keep dropping that, but there's been nothing. I mean, as far as I know, Heredia is in Mexico with Julio Cesar Chavez, and he consistently posts. Like this morning, I woke up to a picture of Chavez doing push-ups, and it was on Heredia's Instagram, and Heredia was saying like, I don't know, something about rebuilding or almost backs. I don't know. Go check his Instagram. So,
but let me ask you a question though. Do you think that Jessie Vargas has some type of power now?
I mean, you know, I interview a lot of trainers and fighters, and it's funny because I believe it was in the Jason Sosa camp. I might have asked that question: can you work on power? And it's more about working on placement. And you know, because he was able to place that shot in the right spot, Bradley, you know, wobbled. Ali crumbled. When Marquez placed that shot in the right spot, Pacquiao crumbled. It doesn't necessarily have to, you don't need too much power when you're accurately placing the shots. And can he replicate that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the issue. I think that Jessie Vargas's output is nowhere near Manny Pacquiao. So I think that for him to win, he would really have to knock out Manny Pacquiao. I don't see it any other way in any other scenario possible, right? And for him, he would have to come out aggressive. And we've seen how that works against Manny Pacquiao when you come in, you know, kind of moving on a straight line forward against Manny Pacquiao. He could eat you apart with moving, you know, his angles and his quickness. Now, against Saddam Ali, he was jabbing to the body and then setting it up for the, you know, the shot over the head. And I don't see Manny Pacquiao being as stationary as Saddam Ali was in that fight. So I see Manny Pacquiao having a very easy time. I don't see a knockout, but an easy points decision.
I mean, it's hard to argue with you when we've seen guys like Brandon Rio, and I'm not going to say that Vargas is Brandon Rios. You know, we could all admit that Vargas is technically more skilled than Brandon Rios, but watching Bradley versus Vargas again, it felt like Pacquiao versus Rios. One guy on the defense, blocking everything coming at him, shelling up, kind of like Joshua Clottey Pacquiao is what I think about when I remember Bradley Vargas and when I remember Pacquiao versus Brandon Rios. Can it be different?
Yeah, and he hardly hit Bradley in that fight.
No, you're right. I mean, glory moment was that, you know, final round, that final 10 seconds.
Steven, what do you think?
I think honestly that I think that MD do make a lot of good solid points. It's going to be hard to argue that Vargas stands a chance at winning without a knockout, but I'm not so sure if it's based on his power so much as it's going to be based on the style. I noticed that Vargas in his last couple fights against Saddam Ali and Timothy Bradley, somehow I hear both ways that that if you're punching down an opponent or punching up at opponent, it takes a little bit off your power. I'm not quite sure which one is more accurate than the other, but Vargas does seem to be having success with that arcing overhand right against opponents who seem to be situating their center of gravity lower than himself, below like his eye level. And he's already taller anyways. He's just able to, at some point or another, he's going to be landing like a long right hand. And I know that he's going to be doing it against Pacquiao just because Pacquiao's that southpaw style. He's going to get clipped a few. Pacquiao isn't impossible to hit. His movement makes him most dangerous. It's a combination of his movement along with his hand combination and hand speed. You know, it's the way that he's able to dart back and forth at you as well as around you simultaneously. When Ali was going just around Vargas, he was running out of places to run. And Vargas, when Vargas started to punch with Ali, because early Ali was scoring, outlanding, and outshooting Vargas. But when Vargas started to throw with him and catch him on those counters, that's what started to slow Vargas down. And if you look back at the fight Pacquiao had with Morales, Morales used a lot of jab work and a lot of left hook work. And I remember seeing Jessie Vargas in a recent video use when he was hitting the heavy bag, he seemed to be implementing a lot of combination punching with his constant left jab. And that's something I like to see worked against the southpaw.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest issue is, especially when you bring up someone like Eric Morales, is hand speed, right? So I think that no matter what happens, when Manny Pacquiao decides to let his hands go and, you know, there's an exchange, I don't see Jessie Vargas being able to keep up with his, you know, he's not as quick. It's nowhere near the same. And I don't know. I see Saddam
I don't think he needs to be as quick as Pacquiao. I think timing can trump speed if you use it correctly.
It can, but I don't see that. I really just don't know what people see in Jessie Vargas. Even I don't know. It's hard to explain. Everything he does is not at an elite level. He just has a reasonably powerful right hand that worked.
I could argue the same thing about Danny. I could argue the same thing about Danny Garcia.
That's not true because Danny
about him, but his timing leads to these punches that can drastically change the outcome of a fight.
No. You can't say that about Garcia because Garcia has more high-level knockouts. Saddam Ali was a contender or titleist because I think he held the interim maybe, or that was for the vacant.
Yeah, and he's fragile.
But I want to go back to something that Steven said earlier when he was saying the center of gravity and how Jessie Vargas, lands that punch, that overhand right, how it's a looping overhand right. But what I didn't like when I went back and watched footage was that he was giving away his height, not only to throw that right hand, but throughout most of his fights. He crouches down very low. And again, if he is as big as he is or has this advantage over Pacquiao in terms of height, it's not going to do any good if he's crouching down low and giving it away.
Well, he gives it away for power. He gives it away to gain that leverage.
Hopefully he doesn't keep his hands in his pocket like that Bradley fight, because I went back and watched that, and it made me make up my mind. It looked too great in the Bradley fight. He dropped Bradley twice when in previous fights he couldn't do that. And people want to talk about distractions and work. I think that he's just more focused, man. When you have a lot on your plate, but you follow an agenda, you can get anything done. So that being said, my pick will be Manny Pacquiao. I think that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they'll stop it. I think that he'll take too much punishment, and the corner of Vargas is going to stop it. I see this like Brandon Rios. Unfortunately for Vargas, I see it like Brandon Rios, and but I think that Dewey Cooper will have more of a heart or will be quicker on his actions than maybe Robert Garcia was.
Dude, casual would be ashamed of you for thinking that way. What? You're not watching the pre-fight shows? You're not seeing the hunger in Vargas's eyes, the fire that he has to keep pushing his career forward to become the next legend as opposed to just another fighter? Look back at Claudie's eyes. Claudie's eyes, even during the fight, during the pre-fight, you bring up Claudie and the way how he just kind of stood there getting his ass kicked. Claudie had already hit his peak. Claudie wasn't going nowhere. Claudie didn't plan on getting any higher. He was looking for that payday. Vargas is a fighter who's like a man on a mission. And you see it in him, and you hear it when he talks about
all
it.
the right words, so you're being convinced. But, the thing is, MD doesn't lie. We weren't overly satisfied with Khabib Alavakurdiev on HBO when that happened, nor were the announcers, and nor were the higher-ups in HBO.
And didn't he fight? And he fought after, like Nonev. Like he fought 2 Russians in a row who they were brought over for him to look good, and they both gave him work. And what's going to happen in the fight, unfortunately, is I think that he is going to come out kind of aggressive, stalking, and Manny Pacquiao is going to land a flurry early on, and for the rest of the fight, he's going to kind of be retreating and kind of like, I guess, being aggressive when he can. So that's why I see it going to a points decision. I mean, I don't see Jessie Vargas.
Oh no, I think
he's not going to go out in his shield. He doesn't seem like that. I mean, you have to go back and watch the Tim Bradley fight and tell me that if he had an opportunity in that fight, right, besides the way end of that fight to go out in his shield, he was getting so frustrated about being tagged and moving forward. The rest of the fight, he kind of was easing in and not taking shots because each time he came in, he was getting hit. So I see Jessie Vargas coming out aggressive early, getting tagged by a flurry, and being on the retreat the rest of the fight. It'll be a points decision.
I got to disagree just because look, okay, I will give everybody the point when you guys make a point that Jessie Vargas never looks particularly impressive. But what's the one thing that we know from Jessie Vargas by not looking particularly impressive? The guy takes a freaking punch. He takes a lot of punches, but he could take a punch. He's not going to go away easy. Amatoso's, from what I'm looking at BoxRec, Amatoso's
it doesn't matter if he goes away or not.
Body shot. So that's how are you going to say that? What I'm saying is that they're not going to stop. I don't think Pacquiao is going to stop. Pacquiao wasn't even able to stop Bradley, even though he knocked him down those 2 or 3 times, even though he knocked down Chris Algieri like 7 times, he wasn't able to stop these guys.
Steven, have you not seen Vargas? You've seen these fights. He's in complete control of these fights.
I agree.
One second. That I think that if he chose to and he fought a different way, he'd be able to stop them. So I think it's kind of like not that relevant if he's able to stop him or not. He's going to be so in control by hurting him just enough that he's going to make him on the retreat. So that's how I see the fight going.
I don't even know how we're arguing this. The speed and agility of Bradley caused all types of problems for Jessie Vargas. Pacquiao is that on 10. But let me just paint a little picture for you, right? As MD said, HBO brought these Eastern Europeans in to make Jessie Vargas look good. Khabib Alavakurdiev, Anton Nyakov. Then neither of those fights worked out. They put him in there with DeMarco, who other guys have stopped, and that didn't work out. So Top Rank was done. You know it, and I know it. They fed him to Bradley. Bradley didn't want him. Now, that name has been thrown to Bradley for a long time. Bradley didn't want him, but he had nowhere else to go. So he kept his name alive with that one punch.
Wait, Ness.
Fight was a fight where even in the telecast, they were saying like, this is, make or break for either man.
Yeah. Like not only did Bradley not want him, did we want Bradley to fight him? To be honest, I mean, we would have laughed at that fight. Like, let's not pretend that Jessie Vargas was like not even a hot prospect. He had his opportunity.
He was undefeated. He was undefeated at that time.
He landed one miracle punch
from being a welterweight champion.
Then he got cashed out against Bradley. He got cashed out against Bradley and landed one miracle punch. Now we pretend that he has some type of relevance at the highest level.
Well, we're getting away from what this is supposed to be. We're arguing how good of a fight it is instead of previewing it. I mean, we're making bold predictions, but they coming off a bit arrogant because we're basing it on what Vargas hasn't done, opposed to what can his style do in the ring versus Pacquiao's. So I guess briefly, can you see anything that he does well that can cause some sort of challenges to Manny?
Puncher's chance. The term puncher's chance is being used, and I think that's the proper term.
All right. Well, moving on to the undercard, Oscar Valdez is a hot, I guess, champion now that we were all interested in. And he's fighting, I guess, to stay busy. And I can't really say much of this guy. I tried to find, something on the opponent, not really much out there. So I guess this is just an either I don't know this opponent, or this is just another one like the last time when he was beating the dude up from Argentina. I mean, am I wrong?
They brought in someone from Japan so he could get a knockout win.
Okay.
That's.
I mean, hopefully,
it's a summary of the fight. Like I'm sure he'll look. Oscar Valdez looks like the goods, but this is a step back from his last 2 fights almost. It's going to be like a really pretty highlight reel knockout right before the main event. So that's all it is. It's what we have to expect. I don't know any other way to cut it.
No, listen, I hear you. I'm just hoping that if we're wrong, maybe one of our listeners knows this guy and they could tell us. Maybe, I just think that this is an undercard. It's a pay-per-view undercard. Bob Arum pays for this. HBO has nothing to do with this. Let's not forget this. This is going to be on ESPN pay-per-view, Box Nation pay-per-view. So Arum has the right to put whoever he wants on the undercard, right? And because he wants to sell, he needs to put guys like Valdez. And for the first time ever, they're going to have Nonito Donaire and Manny Pacquiao on the same card. But before we get to Donaire's card, I guess it's easy pick for you and I. And producer, make sure you get these picks down because we're going to be taking a tally for all you guys calling in. Remember that number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 if you want to speak to the host. At about 5 minutes from now, we're going to be having our first guest on. It's young prospect, Thomas Velasquez. Signed to Danny Garcia Promotions and will be fighting on that November 12th undercard that I will be covering in Philadelphia, the card of Danny Garcia versus Samuel Vargas. We'll also have at the 8:30 hour John Molina Jr., who's going to be taking on Terrence Crawford on HBO December 10th. So tune in for that. Listen, Nonito Donaire, Jessie Magdaleno, another fight here. Not another fight, probably the first fight right here that is very difficult for me to pick, right? I've been following the career of Magdaleno for so long now, and he really doesn't have any step-up fight to speak of, but it's more like the way you guys speak of, certain fighters' eye tests, right? But Nonito Donaire is no gatekeeper. I don't even think at this point, like Nicholas Walters at the very least showed us what he can do versus Darchinian before we thought that he would at least have a chance versus Donaire, I believe. Producer, you could check if the order of those fights were as I'm saying, but Magdaleno hasn't had that. Like this is weird to me too. It's either they really believe in him or they really don't, because at 23-0 to be, this is your for 23-0 for you to be fighting Nonito Donaire on pay-per-view, meaning HBO hasn't even showcased you yet. Like, are they cashing Magdaleno out early? Now remember, this is the brother of Diego Magdaleno, who has recently lost the world title shot in the United Kingdom, I believe, last year to one of the Smith brothers, remember? So, again, Magdaleno, this one, Jessie, has always been the talent out of the brothers. He was trained by Joel Diaz. He was also trained by Ismael Salas. But, again, 23-0, and we're already speaking of 3 trainer changes because he started with his original amateur trainer, and then Salas and Joel Diaz. When I spoke to him in Vegas, he told me it was the distance. He had a kid and it was just the traveling, kind of the same excuse that Omar Figueroa gave. But again, getting away from the preview of this fight, Magdaleno's style is such an aggressive one. You know, he definitely has power, but again, is that going to be elite level power? Can he hurt Nonito Donaire? He's never been in the ring with anything close to Donaire. Nothing.
Message.
Talk to us.
Okay, so for as far as Nicholas Walters, he fought and knocked out Victor Archinian and then went right after that into the Nonito Donaire fight. Nonito Donaire, after being knocked out or TKO'd in the 6th round by Nicholas Walters, has fought 4 times and won 3 of the 4 times by TKO before the 4th round against opponents who none of us would know off the top of our heads.
All right, so it's exactly the way that I thought. You know, we got to see him knock out Darchinian, and then, you know, we could at least testify of that power. With Magdaleno, yes, he's been showing that as a prospect, knocking out guys, starching them on Top Rank Live and things like that. Listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget, man, I hate that I got to always remind you guys. It's insane. Hit that thumbs up because it helps with the visibility of the show. We get new callers, and obviously, even the fighters are watching this. You know it, man. I got a lot of heat in the DSG gym because of this show. So you guys need to be spreading the word, all right? We need to remain relevant to make sure that they continue to watch. That being said, man, I'm going to have to say that, man, is Donaire done, MD? I can't even give a prediction yet. I want to hear your thoughts. Is Donaire done that we're thinking he's going to lose to a prospect? Because this kid hasn't crossed over contender status yet. This is not Earl Spence. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's odd to me that this kid hasn't gotten any shine on HBO, no HBO Latino, nothing. And Top Rank is saying, fuck it, we're going to feed him to Donaire.
Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. You know I wouldn't do that if it wasn't for a good reason. But right now we have Monster Piece on with TJ. Monster, you there?
I am here.
And do you have our guest?
TJ, what's going on, brother?
Chilling. How you doing?
I'm good. Happy to have you, man. For all those that don't know, we have Thomas Velasquez, a.k.a. Stunner, on the line. He is a young prospect, 5-0, 4 KOs, and he is signed to Danny Swift Garcia. You're the first fighter signed to Garcia, correct?
Yes.
All right, TJ, don't get so overwhelmed. Don't worry about it. But tell us, how has it been? You know, being signed to Danny and you know, having your young career start under the Danny Swift Promotions banner.
There's a lot to take down, especially in the beginning. Coming into a new world from being an amateur not so long ago. So it's really been all adjusting, but it's been all love. He's like my big brother, so it's really not that hard because the relationship is good. So I'm not really that nervous or like shy how like I was before when I first met him. But everything's good. I'm getting good fights. Recently, I've been on a little break, but that's going to break on the 12th.
Speaking of break, you're speaking of the fact that you've only fought twice this year, but it seems like you're going to be right on target with last year. Last year you had 3 fights, so you'll be ending out this year with 3 unless you squeeze another one in December. Is that the game plan, or you're taking it fight by fight?
Fight by fight, but I want as many as I can, so it doesn't matter. Anybody can get it.
So obviously, our listeners haven't gotten the opportunity to see you unless they went out to the Barclays or over in LA on the Robert Guerrero and Danny Swift undercard. Tell us a little bit about your fighting style, your whole come up. I mean, how'd you get into boxing, first of all?
I got into it by a bet with my father. It was a $20 bet that I wouldn't last a week, and I lasted 10 years. That's how we started. And my boxing style, I could brawl and box. I'm trying to perfect my boxing. I'm trying to be the best boxer out there. I'm not trying to be brawling. Everybody could do that, and anybody can. So I'm trying to perfect my style so I could be one of one. I'm trying to be that one and only guy that everybody's trying to be like. I'm not trying to be like anybody else.
Now, wait a minute, TJ. You can't come on here and say that you got a bet and that's how you became a fighter. You got to give us more details. I mean, what did he mean by lasting a week? Was it that he didn't think you'd last the strength and conditioning aspect of it, or actually taking punches? What was the actual bet? Give us how did the bet start? Were you guys watching a fight together and you said, I could do that? I mean, what happened?
We was watching a fight. I liked it. And it was like action to me. So I liked it. He said, I bet you won't last a week. And me being young, I was like, I can last forever. Spicing myself up. So he's like, oh yeah, I bet you won't. And he's only saying that so he could put me in this so I can have self-defense. Because, being in Philadelphia is not really good out here in the streets. So he's not trying to be bullied or anything. So that's why he wanted me to get in it. But, of course, it's my choice. So a bet, I don't back down from a bet. So that's why he said, I bet $20 you won't do it. And I went right on it. 10 years later, I'm still on that bet.
Man, that's definitely showing your willpower. Listen, let me introduce you to my co-host, the good doctor, is Boxing MD. He's got a few questions for you. Talk to us, Boxing MD.
So what's going on, Thomas? So you say you want to be like nobody else, right? Do you try to like role model your, I guess, career path and how you carry yourself similar to someone who you say you're very close with, Danny Garcia, or do you feel like you'll take things and do your own thing?
TJ, you there? All right. We'll have the producer go ahead and check with Anna and get that back going. In the meantime, I guess we'll have to switch back over and continue discussing a little bit about Jessie Magdaleno and Nonito Donaire, right? Because it's a difficult one for me. This kid is a prospect that I really, really am high on, and really I have to say was, because we haven't really seen much of him since I believe last year. I think the last time he fought was that I got to see him live was on a Manny Pacquiao card, I believe, or the Friday before. But Nonito Donaire, I don't think that he's done. I mean, he's been able to rack up 2 wins, actually 4 wins after his loss to Nicholas Walters. They haven't been the best of opponents. But his last win is a decent, it was a decent win. And he got the knockout. He's still taking more punches than what I would like. But again, Magdaleno's power, MD, is it world-class power based off of what the little we've been able to see?
No, I also don't think that he's anywhere near as big as Nicholas Walters, who's like 5'8". Jessie Magdaleno is even shorter than Nonito Donaire. He's like 5'4", and we haven't seen much on TV, right? And you say like sometimes like a 24-year-old having to face Nonito Donaire. A lot of the smaller guys have to take tougher fights early on because they don't have the luxury to build themselves up to, eventually get to the world level, right? But I don't think that this guy has the type of power to defeat Nonito Donaire. So I actually got Nonito Donaire stopping this guy.
Wow, you got him. Wait. Have you seen Jessie Magdaleno fight?
Yeah, I've seen him fight. Like he has a come forward, aggressive style, but when he punches really wide, right? And Nonito Donaire has only had problems against really, really, really technical boxers like Rigamdao. Obviously, it's an exception. And then Nicholas Walters, who obviously had a huge size and power advantage. And what I've seen of Jessie Magdaleno, who's a much smaller fighter, Nonito Donaire, it's not the same thing. He's not going to be able to steamroll Nonito Donaire like that. He was overwhelmed, right? So I see him punching much straighter and stopping Jessie Magdaleno. I have a late stoppage.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we're pretty much. I can't say even on that, right? Because I do favor Nonito. Just I don't know if it's going to be by stoppage, but then again, Nonito rarely wins unanimous decisions. He has a few, but he doesn't really win by unanimous decision. And with the inexperience of Jessie Magdaleno, maybe you're right. Maybe if he's going to win this fight, it's going to be by knockout. Not necessarily sure, though. That is definite. But let's get into the news that the good doctor really wanted to discuss, right, Doctor? Shannon Briggs gets a fight. Now, what's made this even more interesting, listen, producer, I need you to get on this because I believe somehow when the WBA told us that they wanted to get rid of titles, MD, instead we're getting Shannon Briggs versus Lucas Brown for the regular WBA. And then we're getting Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko for the Super WBA. And then we're getting the winner of Shannon Briggs versus Lucas Brown versus Frezo Cuendo, who hasn't fought in 2 years. Now, look, if that is true, that is sad. Now, the only news that we need the producer to double check is the Frezo Cuendo, but that would be sad. I don't even understand what would this mean. Tyson Fury gives away the belts, and in the same year, the WBA says they want to consolidate, and instead they're having all these separate fights for the same belts in which they wanted to consolidate.
I mean, as much as it's kind of a joke fight, and I think that Shannon Briggs probably will get really hurt in this fight and knocked out because he's in no shape at his age to compete for a world title. It'll give him the opportunity, right, that a lot of people over the internet are saying that why, he's being, he should get a shot. He should get a shot at this one guy. He's charismatic or whatever. So, I mean, it's really bad, the fact that this is for the WBA regular belt, which is the same belt that obviously Danny Jacobs has. So Shannon Briggs will have an opportunity to win the same belt that Danny Jacobs has. So you would have to call him champ, right? Because if you saw Danny Jacobs now, Ness, I know you would call him champ.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to. Listen, the regular title is a champion, but that's why they're allegedly consolidating so that there isn't all this confusion. But instead, we're getting massive confusion because also, they've also now mandated that in 2017, April, we're going to get Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua if Anthony Joshua can remain undefeated versus versus Eric Molina. So that's another one we're going to have to see now. It's just unfortunate, though, that
Hey, Ness.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're going to try and go back to Monster Piece right now.
Go to him.
Okay, Monster, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Monster Piece, can you hear us? Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes. Talk to me. Sorry,
I'm gonna call TJ again, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So we will get back to her. Yes, listen. This is live radio, ladies and gentlemen, with very few employees, right? I mean, thank the lucky stars for Steven and Monster Piece, and obviously for all our listeners who put up with us, right? Listen, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We got to everything. I mean, MD, do you want to touch on this WBA fiasco, or do we open up these phone lines until we wait for Monster Piece and TJ?
Just one last thing about that. It's obviously a financial opportunity for the WBA because it's a double win for them, right? Because they get the sanctioning fee for the Klitschko Joshua fight next year, and whatever money that this Shannon Briggs Lucas Brown fight brings in. People will be watching it. I mean, let's not pretend, Ness, as much as you hate it, you'll be watching it. So,
all right, cool. Sorry, MD, I don't mean to cut you off. I want to let you finish your sentence. So we're going to go back to Monster Piece, who says that she is now live with TJ again. TJ, tell me you hear me.
I hear
Yeah, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
TJ, I hope you're all hyped up now, man, because we need you to, you know.
We weren't gonna let him. We weren't gonna let him go, man. We would have fought tooth and nail to get him back. You seen the way. You see his record. He's a knockout artist right now. We can't let him off the hook like that.
I know. So,
Thank you.
where did we leave off? I guess we pick up where the producer left off and talk about the power. I mean, 4 knockouts, 5 fights. You are showing some sort of power. So talk to us about that.
Oh, well, I don't know what power y'all talking about. I see all skills. That's all I see.
So is it punch placement and accuracy, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's what it feels like.
Now, what is your, I guess, weapon of choice? What's your favorite punch when you're in the ring?
Now is my right uppercut. I'm starting to like that more. I'm working on it, on the bag, sparring, shadow boxing. I'm trying to get that timing on it, and hopefully on the 12th I can use it. It's gonna be real nice if I can see it.
Hey, TJ, it's me, the producer again. So I gotta ask you, man. So you're coming off of like one of the longer layoffs of your, the longest layoff of your career so far. It's gonna be about 6 months. You got these knockouts like we've been talking about. Are you trying to go in there, maybe get some rounds? You try to get round work in on this fight, maybe to work off some of the rust you might have built up, or are you just going in there to work on what you've been practicing at the gym with the uppercut?
No, I go in just to fight and box. Like, I'm not going in there to work on it with anybody. They're not working with me. And at the end of the day, he's gonna try to take me out. So I'm gonna do my job, which is to take him out as easy as I can. And if not, we can make it hard if you want to. But it always goes off what he's going off of. Like, if he's trying to brawl, then I'm gonna box him. And if he's trying to box, then I'm gonna box him. But if I feel like brawling, that's when the knockout's gonna come.
So this is Boxing MD. So how does Danny Garcia, as you described, such a close relationship, how has he affected kind of how you see yourself as a boxer and how you're going to carry yourself, like through the media and, moving forward?
It's just motivation. Somebody I know is making it big. That's all it is. It's motivation for me. There's nothing extra about it. He's just helping me out, giving me more fuel for my engine.
But like, is the fuel for the engine, is it like to achieve what what a lot of boxing fans consider greatness, what he did at lightweight, right? Is it the hunger inside the ring, or is it the money outside the ring that you kind of see yourself, training hard for?
It's nothing about the money. This is boxing. I'm trying to have my name live long. So that's really it. He's just like, he's a blessing. He's a guardian angel I needed to help me move through this world. Like, boxing, I don't think I would be on this show if Danny was helping me out. Because nobody would move me like he is. And y'all know I'm moving slow. I had a long layoff, but I'm on this show. And it's not because I'm just with anybody.
No, I hear you. And to be honest, that's something that the side of Danny Garcia that never gets out in the media, right? I mean, I'll safely say that I've never really heard, Danny Garcia reaching out to, you said that he obviously, he kind of like put you in the right situation, right? Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Speaking of right situation, TJ, one of those obviously that he's placed you in is fighting in your hometown, which you guys share, of Philadelphia. And, I know how much of a ticket seller you are out there. So you spoke earlier also of motivation and, using Danny as fuel for the fire, but you have about 300 people plus coming to see you, if not more, November 12th. Is that part of that motivation and fuel?
And motivation and fuel is always there for them 300 plus people that's coming. Danny just adds on to that. He's just that one guy that's like, when somebody's telling you something, but they don't know about boxing, so you're just gonna agree with them. Yeah, but as soon as Danny says something, we're in the same predicament. Like, he can see and tell me in first person. So it takes more. It's more accountable when he says it. So it's all motivation when everybody comes because they're gonna support no matter what. But when Danny's there, he tells me exactly what's gonna go on and how he wants me to be. Then I just try to lay it down right in the ring.
So talk to us about November 12th, Saturday night, when you're in the ring. What could fight fans expect?
They can expect me to come out with the win. They can expect my hands to be up because my defense is going to be great. I am not getting touched for nothing. If I do, it's because I'm slacking myself, not because he caught me because he's good. No, I'm not going to give him no way to make himself look good unless I mess up myself, but that's not going to happen. But being victorious, I'm going to try and get a knockout for the fans, but if it don't come, I'm going to just make it look real beautiful for everybody.
Now, before I let you go, obviously, you being from Philadelphia, the city is known for its sparring and, all the gyms that it has. So our listeners might not have seen you fight, but they've definitely have seen people that you've sparred with. The most obvious is obviously Danny, that I'm sure you've sparred with, but can you just tell us for this fight or for past camps, who have you sparred with? Because I want to hope that you got in there with Tevin Farmer, him being from Philly, and I'm hoping Jason Sosa, Milton Santiago. I mean, you helped me.
Well, with Milton Santiago, this fight, I haven't sparred Tevin in a minute. Like, before, when I just got off my layoff, off my first fight, that's when I was sparring Tevin. I did like 3 rounds with him. And Sosa, I haven't sparred him since, like, before I went pro. We haven't sparred like that. But I did spar Milton and Danny for like a couple rounds. But nobody else that's really high profile.
But what about in previous camps? Anybody that we might know in the past? Because, I mean, you being from that gym, plenty of guys got to go through there.
Hector, I forget his name.
Munoz, right? Hector Munoz with the gun tattoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's a war vet right there. That guy got a lot of rounds. How was that? That's an experienced veteran right there.
Good. Remember you asked me, why am I working on my angles and him holding? I remember, and I told you because my dad seen that when I was sparring Hector, and I was sparring Shock Moore.
Mm-hmm.
He was coming in trying to like bully, so that helped me on working on going backwards because going backwards is I'm a jab and go to the side. I'm not working as much going back, so they was helping me with that.
Well, TJ, listen, man, we want to thank you obviously for coming on. We know that boxers are busy, right? You got to get your road work in and all that good stuff. But we need you to give out any social media so that any of our listeners who want to follow your career can do so.
My Instagram and Twitter is TEAMVELASQUEZ_. And that's really it. That's all I'll be on right now.
Well, all right, TJ, man, we're going to get you back on after your big fight. I'll be there live. So if you don't get any TV time, I'll be able to tell these guys just how good you did. Thank you for calling in. Monsterpiece, thank you again. So listen, guys, it's 8:22.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. It's 8:22. We're going to open up these phone lines, and we still have another guest to get to. We're going to jump out to Skype. Going to go to Blackface. Talk to me.
Respect to everyone listening in the past, present, or future. Let me get my picks in first. I'm picking Vargas. And the reason I'm picking Vargas is because, first of all, Pacquiao's a legend. He's top 5 dead or alive as far as I'm concerned. But it's out with the old and in with the new as far as I'm concerned. Any of these legends that I grew up watching, Whenever they come across a fighter who's a young, hungry champion, I'm always going to pick against them. Always going to pick against them. I want Pacquiao to be out of here, and I want this new breed to come in. That's why I'm picking Vargas to win. I don't really like the way that Pacquiao's conducting himself. I know it's nothing to do with the fight, but the way he's conducting himself in interviews and such, and some of the comments that he's making about he still needs to do this for the check, and you know his senator salary isn't good enough for him, and he needs to do the boxing to be the check and stuff. I'm sure he just earned like $100 million payday. I don't know what he needs more money for, but you know, whatever. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I know he has to juggle his senator work with his boxing work and stuff. But yeah, I don't think he's taking it as serious as he should be, based on, you know, the time differences and stuff. And he has to train after 7 p.m. at night. So that's why I'm picking Vargas as well. I've only seen I've seen two Vargas's fights. The Ali fight, which I think he did okay in, and the Bradley fight, which I think he lost completely. Pacquiao, I've seen most of Pacquiao's fights. I think Pacquiao's still a very, 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 very good fighter, but I just want him out of here. It's Vargas' time to shine now. In regards to this Lucas Brown and this Shannon Briggs bullshit with the WBA, I don't know what. I thought the WBA was supposed to be, you know, bringing the super and the regular titles together. So I don't know what they're doing, giving these, you know, two idiots a regular title shot, even though I don't feel the regular title is a proper title, but the WBA see it as a proper title. I don't know what they're doing, giving those two guys well, not necessarily Lucas Brown, because I know he was a title. Shannon Briggs shouldn't deserve a shot at the title at all. He still needs to get ranked as far as I'm concerned. MD, please don't wear that vest on the show again. I used to tell Nesta, stop wearing the vest on the show, and he did. He stopped wearing it. I don't want to see you wearing that vest again. That's my call, man.
That's not even a vest. It's a tank top. And you used to tell me stop wearing V-necks. You don't even know what you're talking about. This guy hates all clothes.
Yo, and
vest and V-necks, just don't wear them again, man.
Yo,
don't
that's a tank top. It's not a V-neck.
Yo,
it's a vest, man. It's a vest.
A vest.
It's a vest.
Yo, Blackface, and you also forget too that Manny Pacquiao is making money to, like, at least in his words, like build infrastructure over in the Philippines. So maybe that's like his goals, right? So maybe he's spending all the money, you know, back in the Philippines. So I'm just like proposing it out there, right? Because it's like
maybe,
you know,
maybe, but you know, that $100 million that he made, how that could stretch for generations upon generations upon generations in the Philippines, can it not?
No, I mean within his own like small community, but you have to remember that I think that his outreach, where at least he's spending money, is like much broader. I mean, it's a really big country, Philippines. There's a lot of people that live there, so you know, $100 million could go if you're trying to, like, you know, take care of a community. I don't know. I mean, I'm just assuming, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm wrong to be counting people's money. I shouldn't be counting people's money, but that's when I hear that stuff, it hurts my heart. If plan A or plan B does not work, remember there were 24 other letters in the alphabet.
All right, Blackface. Thank you for calling in. We're gonna keep.
Yo, hold on. Before you go anywhere, I want to make sure I got him on the right pick. He said he's got Vargas, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy. And did he give a pick on Valdez?
No.
I didn't hear him give any other picks other than the Vargas one, right?
No. Blackface, that's true. You don't care about Donaire?
I don't really. I've seen Donaire in the Rigo fight. That's the only fight I've ever seen him in. I mean, I'm not educated enough on that fight to make that pick. I don't know the other guy's name. I know Donaire a little bit. Maybe I could pick Donaire, maybe, but I don't really want to give uneducated picks just on some guessing game. I think that's wrong.
Well,
I've never seen one Donaire fight. So
if you don't want to make a pick, we won't give him crow for it in case he's wrong. So that's cool.
And you know what? That's actually mature and educated of him to say that. You know, he hadn't seen enough of Donaire, and he would rather not pick.
I thought we liked him hardcore. Though, Ness. I thought we liked him when they watched it all.
Say, Stephen, we're not going to shame him for that because we can convert. Even though
I agree,
people like to, you know, call each other names and stuff like that. Look, I would think as great as his calls are, I automatically assume he knew all about Donaire's career. So there you go. You know what I mean? You just never know who has seen what and who hasn't.
One more thing.
One second, Ness. You also have to understand that he's, you know, their domestic level guys are different than our domestic level guys.
Yeah, but Donaire is no domestic level.
No, not Donaire, but I'm talking about his opponent.
Yeah, no, but he said he only seen one Donaire fight. Donaire was a pound-for-pound fighter a couple years ago.
Fighter of the year, 2012.
I know he's not too far removed from.
No, that's pretty weird.
Good ass fighters though. It's not like Donaire. That's why I'm saying this is a crazy ass fight. That's why I'm paying for it for that. Jessie Magdaleno is a kid that I like, but I didn't think he was on this level. So he's gonna have to make me a believer. Listen, we're gonna get out.
No, we can't get back to those callers. Sorry to interrupt you yet again, but we forgot to play our favorite spot for one of our good friends here.
These calls are brought to you by our sponsor, El Camino Electrical Services, who have over 15 years of commercial electrical experience, servicing the whole Silicon Valley and the entire San Francisco Peninsula. Visit us at our website, elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Thank you for that, Steven. I always forget, but yo, El Camino is the shit, and everybody will get to meet him, even though he likes to hang in the shadows. Fuck that. I'm putting him out there because we love him over here in TBV. That being said, I mean, you're live. Talk to us.
Yo.
What up? What up?
Yo. Let me get into my picks right quick. I got Magdaleno over Donaire. I'm going for upsets. I got Magdaleno over Donaire. I feel like Magdaleno is going to have to show up and box. I mean, Donaire's issue is going to be his conditioning, I think. In a couple of fights we've seen him fighting, he got frustrated, and I don't think his conditioning was. I mean, the fights we've seen, I'm not talking about the 4 bums he's fought and he's got 3 knockouts. I'm talking about real legitimate fights. And I heard Ness say, yeah, he lost to real good fighters. True. But that's, part of the thing with Magdaleno. I'm giving Magdaleno a young guy that appeared to me to be on his way up, and Donaire seems to be either leveling off on his way down. So I'm going with the young kid. I'm going with the upset with Vargas too. More than a puncher's chance. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I just want to, I guess I just want to go against the grain. There's no logic in not picking Pacquiao against a fighter of Vargas caliber. If Pacquiao did what he did to Bradley, I don't see how Vargas even stands a chance. That's just facts. But, I don't mind eating crow, man. Sometimes I just be hungry on Sundays, man. I'm going to go with Valdez as well. And we got some, I think you mentioned it. It's like an Eastern European card on tomorrow night on Showbox. I'm curious about that one. Should be a couple good fights on there. And I'm ready to do my crow on Sunday. And make sure Alex get his show tomorrow, Ness.
Yeah, listen, if Alex doesn't get his show tomorrow, you guys will be getting at least a weigh-in Manny Pacquiao, Jessie Vargas show. And we're also going to be doing an immediate reaction show on Saturday. And we got to squeeze in Bruce's show as well, man. Listen, we're trying to get them all done. Believe that. So we're going to get back to our Skype machine and head on over to New Zealand. Joseph, talk to us, brother.
Hey, man, I'm just ringing in to get my pick in, my official pick. I am picking Manny Pacquiao by 9th round stoppage. I think Pacquiao's athleticism will just be too much. I don't think it's going to be anything ridiculous. I think it would probably be like a reasonably entertaining fight. I mean, Pacquiao's not a defensive genius, so he's going to get hit a few times, and it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens when he gets hit on the jaw, see if he looks a little weary. I'm starting to think maybe mentally he might be a little faded. I think physically he's still there. I haven't seen anything that makes me kind of weary. He doesn't look any slow or anything. I think maybe he's lost a little bit of interest in the sport. But I was just curious to ask you guys, what do you guys think about Shannon Briggs getting this title shot? I don't even understand how he got it. Like I didn't think that he was ranked. Like I thought he was just like a joke.
Dude, the worst part is that he is ranked beneath David Haye, who is ranked above him, I think, at like number 6, and they overlooked Haye. I don't know, man. It's some funny business definitely going on, without a doubt.
Well, I think the WBA looked at their timeline and they're like, well, how could we make money? So they decided to sanction that fight. There's no other explanation behind it. There's no
No, that's wrong, MD, because listen, if the WBA wants money, Lucas Brown, David Haye is a bigger fight than fucking Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, but maybe David Haye wasn't willing to. Maybe David Haye wasn't willing to take that fight. I mean, that's a risky fight for David Haye. And let's be real here.
But that's not the way that it works. When they mandate it, David Haye would have to then publicly denounce the fight. And at least shame.
Well, I mean, that's different. I mean, does he hold any type of belt? I mean, he could just pull himself out of the rankings. I mean, this is not like him owning a belt, having to fight a mandatory, right? So he's just not really taking it.
Yeah, but he would have had to done that. To be passed over for Shannon Briggs is insane, dude. It's insane. Joseph,
I don't think, to be honest, I don't know if it necessarily, you really think it worked like that, right? So you think Shannon Briggs got denied his shot? Is that what you're saying? Not Shannon Briggs, David Haye.
I think, to be honest, I don't really rate David Haye that much. I don't think, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised David Haye is even ranked that high. I suppose I'm not questioning whether David Haye deserves a shot or not. I'm just questioning how they actually come up with these placements for these fighters. Like, it seems like Shannon Briggs was just put there out of nowhere. I don't really understand it. You see where I'm coming from?
100%, yeah. And like,
100% agree.
If he had no name, he would just be like, it's totally his name value. And I don't know how this worked and why this fight happened. And like Ness said before, the WBA was trying really hard to consolidate all their belts to have one champion, one super champion per weight division. And now this forces, this extends the amount of belts that the WBA has. So they're really being hypocritical.
Yo, guys, cut it short. We gotta let him get to his picks. It's a very busy show. We got a lot of people. So right now he's got Pacquiao. Who do you got for Magdaleno versus Donaire, sir?
I got Donaire for that. And quickly before I go, you guys need to put some TBV fight apparel up on your guys' website. I got an amateur fight coming up soon, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna represent TBV and wear some shit. And there's nothing on there, man. You guys got to get some shit in there. Have a good show. Love you guys. You're doing awesome. I'll catch you later.
All right, Joseph, thanks for calling in. We got Aninsu. What up with all your background noise?
Oh, yo, what up? Oh, was it on mute? Was it not on mute?
No, you were not.
Oh, right. Oh, my bad. But anyway, I just got to say, the Pacquiao Vargas fight, I don't know why people are hating on it, right? I think this fight is going to be like an explosive fight. Because Pacquiao, anytime Pacquiao goes against that Mexican style, you get an explosive fight. Like Vargas, I think he can throw a lot of punches. So, like against Josecito Lopez, wasn't it like 800 punches he threw?
Yeah, but what do you call Brandon Rios?
Well, what about him?
You said every single time Pacquiao goes against Mexican style, it's exciting, right?
Well, Brandon Rios isn't as athletic, I'd say. Like Vargas at least can like move in and out and set up counters every now and then. So, I mean, I think there'll be knockdowns in this fight personally. I mean, I'll go Pacquiao by TKO, but I think it's going to be like quite back and forth in my opinion.
So you see Vargas dropping Pacquiao?
Potentially so. And Pacquiao dropping Vargas. I think it's going to be like one of those like...
Producer, you make sure you get this shit down, all right? These guys got to eat crow. Now that we got a producer getting paid the big bucks, we got to get these guys to eat crow, because there's a lot of people running around here talking about pot kings and et cetera, et cetera.
So, caller, how do you see the Nonito Donaire fight?
Well, I'm going to say, unfortunately, much like Blackface, I don't know Jessie Magdaleno too much. I mean, I'll just pick Donaire by default, to be honest on that one. But one thing I do want to talk about is the Anthony Joshua situation, because I see Eddie Hearn getting a lot of hate for the card he put up with the Anthony Joshua Molina card. And I just want to know how people are complaining about our card. You got Dillian White, Chisora, just for a bit of banter. And you got Luis Ortiz, Scott Quigg, Callum Smith, like all on the same card. And
wait,
no. Debut.
Isn't Luis Ortiz fighting in Monaco? Or is that going to be the
fight? He's fighting in Monaco, right? but he's also on the undercard of John Molina, Anthony Joshua against an opponent to be announced. He's on the fight poster.
So they're kind of do like a pay-per-view 2-site location on the card. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Eddie Hearn did anticipate.
No. The Monte Carlo fight is next week. Then he's fighting again on Joshua's card in December. That's what
my bad. Yeah, I mean,
so listen, and this is because you only got 7 seconds left. Cut it. Producer's on point today.
But Ness, to be honest, like they could complain, the UK fans, I guess, because he slid in a not a great opponent, but I don't. I mean, they pay £17 for a pay-per-view card. I don't care about complaining for them.
You can't make it okay for them to complain because they can't complain. He's right. I mean, Luis Ortiz versus whoever, and then you got Joshua versus Klitschko.
But no, it's $22. Like £17 is what?
Excuse me, Joshua Molina. That's a decent fight, Joshua Molina. I don't know. Wow, is David Price that big of a puncher? Who did he knock out? The people are like upset that Molina got the shot instead of David Price.
Well, I mean, the fight itself is not competitive, and like if you want to analyze Anthony Joshua's career, he really is being dubbed this great guy he hasn't fought anybody, Ness.
Yo,
and Eric Molina,
17-0, you're not supposed to fight anybody.
I agree, but Ness, he's a pay-per-view. He's already a pay-per-view headliner with not having fought anybody, right? So I understand where the frustration comes.
Very good promotion.
This is true, but like I said, £17 is what, $23? So that's not a lot of money, honestly, and they really shouldn't be that pissed about.
I mean, it is a lot of money when you're thinking about the consistency. November, December, it's crazy. It's a lot of pay-per-views, you know what I mean? Because the one with Luis Ortiz is probably another pay-per-view. Listen,
what is Pacquiao Vargas? $79.99?
We got callers. We're keeping a tally for all you guys out there. Crow will be served. Sunday's Crow Day. We're going to Alex, our on-demand purchaser. Listen, Alex, we're gonna get you back whether we got to give you a whole new show or not.
All good, man. Anytime. But I'll quickly just give my picks. In the Vargas Pacquiao fight, I'm definitely going with Pacquiao. I mean, he's a legend. He's an 8-division world champion, and it's extremely hard to bet against him unless he's up against a monster, like Mayweather. And I think Marquez just had his number. But besides that, who else has really given him even a good fight? I mean, he's schooled Bradley, who really did a number on Vargas. Look, put it simply, footwork, speed, power. I think it's all in Pacquiao's favor. Maybe not so much power, but yeah. And in the Magdaleno Donaire fight, to be honest, I don't really know who Magdaleno is. I don't think I've ever watched him fight. And so I'm going to have to go for what I know in Donaire. I mean, he's only lost the top-level competition in Rigondeaux and Axeman. So, yeah, that's my call.
Short and sweet, man. Let me see here. We got Donald from Richmond. Talk to us.
What's up? I'm gonna give my take on it. Vargas and Pacquiao. I go with Pacquiao. I don't think that Vargas is gonna have the juice to go the 12 with Pacquiao and beat him on a decision. So if Vargas has to beat Pacquiao, it has to be a by knockout. Of course, we know Vargas cannot pull that off. I think he'll give a couple of good competitive rounds, but he'll lose the fight. I mean, he can do something good down the line with some different opponents and try to step his competition up and try to gain some power or something, but he's just not going to win that fight. The Donaire fight, I think he'll win it, but if he doesn't win that fight, I want to say that's going to be the beginning of the end for him because he's going to lose to an upcoming prospect, and the prospect will look good if he wins, but I think that'll be the beginning of the end for him, And the Shannon Briggs fight, I think the WBA looked at it as Shannon Briggs been making all this noise. He was chasing Klitschko around. He was starting shit with Wilder. He's been fucking bugging for a fight. So I think the WBA looked over David Haye and said, look, let's just give Shannon Briggs this fucking fight so he can go in there and get his fucking ass knocked out. He's in his 40s. This will probably be his last fight. His last opportunity to get a title shot. Let's let him get it, get his ass out of the way so we can shut up and just go champ and all this shit. He can calm all that down. And if he wins it, he wins it. Of course, we know he's not going to win it, but then you can go, hey, look, Shannon, you got your shot. Shut up now. If you want to take a couple of more fights before you retire, that's fine, but you got your shot. You lost. that's it. That's all. I mean, don't you guys agree with that though?
I agree 100%. Like, and Ness, doesn't that, like, just that, I guess, aspect the caller brought up alone make you kind of like, fuck it, like, whatever, like, this fight's going to happen, and it could just end that annoyance that you have with Shannon Briggs, right?
No. I mean, again, reality that we live in. It's a term that we like to use around here. And that being said, because it is sanctioned and it will take place, yes, I would watch it. And yes, I would hope that Lucas Brown can rid us.
But I'm not saying, I'm not agreeing that it was a good fight to pick. I'm just saying maybe they just decided to do that just to cut the noise with Shannon. You know, I mean, because he's been kind of really been screaming and hollering for somebody with a title to fight him. You know what I mean? I mean, he's been doing that shit for the past couple of years since he came back.
He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't fought anybody.
He doesn't. He doesn't deserve it. And I'm not saying he does deserve it at all. I'm not saying he does, because he hasn't beat anybody to make us feel that at his age he deserves the title shot. So I mean, I just look at it as they're just gonna give it to him to get him out of the way and say, you got your title shot, now shut up, don't say nothing to nobody, don't go chase Wilder around, you know, all that bullshit you was doing. That's it, you know. So what do you want to do now, you know?
Yeah, and but I think the only unfortunate thing about this whole thing is that, like, Shannon Briggs gets his opportunity, but Shannon Briggs is gonna get hurt. I don't see it any other way besides him getting really hurt. Lucas Brown is a prospect, hasn't fought.
He's gonna be knocked out.
Yeah. Like,
Hey,
Lucas Brown can punch.
Donald, before you go though, can you re-say your pick for Vargas for Donaire and Magdaleno?
Well, I said that I'm going to go with Donaire, but if Donaire loses, I want to say that's the beginning of the end for him, because he's losing to an up-and-coming prospect, and it's kind of on the borderline. It's like most people who know him and know his career and his record knows he's only lost to top competition. So we look at it as if you've only lost to top competition and now you lose to an up-and-coming prospect, that's the beginning of the end for you, you know?
I agree. That's signs of a decline. And what about the Valdez? Are you
do we need to ask that pick? Do we really need to ask that pick?
Well, I mean, on the off chance that, you know, something crazy happens, and would there be a lot of people eating crow, man? That's a long list of people. So who we picking? Because
I don't know, because I don't even know who those guys are. I only with certain people, you know.
That makes sense. And, you know, like Ness said earlier, we want our callers to be able to make educated picks and not have to take a shot in the dark and then have to eat crow.
One more thing I want to say, I know I'm over my time, but I want to say one more thing. That guy that you guys had on there that was signed with Danny, he was really dry in the conversation. You guys kind of had to squeeze conversation out of him. I mean, he's 5-0 with 4 knockouts, and he signed with Danny Garcia. He was supposed to be a little bit more spontaneous with the conversation right now.
I mean,
he's learning.
It's probably his first time he's ever done an interview in his life.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You know, it's not easy. You heard what he said. He said, look, because I'm signed to Danny, I'm here on this show with you. I haven't even been active. So he definitely appreciates that he was on the show. I mean, look, everybody's not a star, and those that aren't, we gotta cultivate them. Let's move on. Donald, thank you for calling in. We're gonna go to Larry from San Francisco. Larry, we're hoping everything is good because we want to see your face. I got Jose. Jose said, Dan, let me check my messages. Jose said to send you a message, but talk to us, man. How are you?
I'm good, and keep those prayers coming for the wife. And like I said, I got my fingers crossed and everything that I can make it out to the appreciation. But real quick, let me jump these picks in there. I do like Jessie Vargas, young, strong, confident fighter on the upswing. But his problem is he's facing the great Manny Pacquiao, one of the best fighters of the last 50 years. While this is not a cherry pick by any means, it is a significant.
Well,
hello?
Yeah, there goes Ness. I guess you could try to get him back on.
I could try to get Larry back on, but if Ness cut out, that might have been the reason why we couldn't hear Larry. Larry, can you hear us?
Fuck.
Larry. I think we're going to have to wait for Ness to hop back on. I'm not sure if we're still live on YouTube. I'm checking it out.
Yeah, I think we are, but I'll let you get. Hope there's no.
Yes. We are still live on YouTube.
Larry.
I can hear you. I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Yeah. Talk to us.
There we go. We're back.
You're talking about Jessie Vargas, not.
Y'all missed.
You were talking about Jessie Vargas, like you kind of like are kind of high on him, but you don't think he's going to do enough. Kind of were saying something like that, right?
Yes. Well, I said a lot more than that, but yeah. But at the end of the day, to wrap that up, Vargas is he's a worthy opponent in that he's young and strong and he's got some skill, but you're not going to beat Manny Pacquiao with some skill when you're fighting a transcendent talent like Manny. So I see a wide unanimous decision for Pacquiao.
So a puncher's chance is a fair thing to say, right? Is that a fair thing to say or no? Am I being too harsh by saying he has a puncher's chance?
I mean, I think in that everyone has a puncher's chance, I would say sure, but no, he's not winning this fight.
Mm-hmm.
But peep this, with the Magdaleno and Donaire fight, do y'all see it as, are they cashing out Magdaleno? Or do you think Aaron realizes that Donaire is past it and he's trying to promote Magdaleno? How do you see it?
You know, for me, I said they're cashing out Magdaleno, but I guess, you know, Bruce Trampler, Bob Arum, and Todd DeBuff see more. And are they is it you know, Nonito's last fight? Listen, I just don't get it. Honestly, and I'll repeat it because Magdaleno has gotten no TV time to be in this fight.
Well, Ness, although you don't get it, it still makes for a pretty relatively evenly matched fight, right? So it's probably the most. I would say it's by far the most competitive fight on the card.
Evenly matched again. My whole.
Hold on, guys. I want to make sure I got Larry's pick for the undercard. Larry, did you make an official pick or did you just make a comment?
No, just a comment. That one's hard to call. I was hoping to get some insight from y'all, but no pick on that one.
Copy that. And coming up next, we're gonna go to one of my fellow co-producers. You know, we work in tandem. We keep this show going, and it's gonna be Monster Piece because Monster Piece wants to make her picks right now before she has to, you know, go back and forth and play telephone tag with Melina. Monster, you're live.
Good evening, everybody. What's up?
What's up, Monster?
What's going on? Is MD still there? What's up, MD?
What's going on, Monster?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm about to make this really nice and short. To see a man beaten not by a better opponent, but by himself is a tragedy. That's a quote from Kazuya Yamada. The reason why I brought that up is because I strongly believe that Vargas' confidence might be enough to help him win this fight. Probably it might be the only thing that's going to help him win this fight. Is his confidence. Because we all know that Vargas is nowhere near the competition that Pacquiao has maybe had in the past with greater opponents. But his confidence is what's going to help him win. And I strongly believe, after speaking with him, I'm trying to get him on the phone, that he's really confident about beating Pacquiao. And I'm glad that he is, because at the end of the day, that's really what it's going to take. I hope that when he gets in there, he does bring it. And even if he does lose, I hope that he does in a great way. Because, you know, I really like Vargas. I'm rooting for the guy. You know, deep down inside, I know it's going to be a tough fight for him. But as hard as it is, this pick for me, I'm going to have to go with Vargas. And
Monster,
Valdez as well.
Monster, you say like confidence, right? Like, he also sounded really confident that he should have beat Tim Bradley and he knocked out Tim Bradley or whatever he was saying, and that he deserved a rematch, right? So I don't think necessarily his confidence means that it's something that is of legitimacy, right? Because he seemed kind of delusional about that, to be honest, right? And I think that some of the things that he's saying about the fight, I mean, he has to big himself up, but I think no matter what he's saying, I don't see him being confident.
Well, that, you can be true, but that's what I said last time. You know what I mean? I said last time when I called in, I said, okay, can you compare, ask yourself, how better is Vargas to Bradley and how better is Bradley to Vargas? We said we knew what happened in that fight. He started late. He started really late in that fight. But we don't, that was that fight. This is this fight. We don't know, how his mentality has changed. Maybe in the last fight he was confident it was going to be Bradley. But it probably wasn't the same confidence he might have now coming into this fight. We just don't know. But I'm really hoping that it is much better, it is much pronounced, and he does mean it this time. I really hope so, because that's all it's going to take for him to win that fight. But, let's just, wishing on the star here, but I'm still going with Vargas regardless, man. I'm rooting for that kid. I'm done with Pac-Man. I'm done. All right, guys, that's it.
What about the Donaire fight? How do you see that one?
We got other fights there. What about Donaire and
Donaire
Jessie Vargas? Jessie Magdaleno.
We got 10 seconds.
Oh my God. I don't know about Donaire in that fight. He didn't look so well against his last fight, so I don't know. I'm picking
Cut it. She said Magdaleno.
Mm-hmm.
Magdaleno. All right. We got you down. Listen, I'm very saddened to report that we're 2 hours in and we only got 96 thumbs up. That seems like a disgrace, a slap in the face. Maybe we should leave early. Maybe we should leave all these other callers here not to make their predictions. Maybe.
We should have an overtime Patreon edition, TVV post.
I know. I don't understand what's going on here. Where is the love? Listen, I'm going to be getting to this caller right now. Tone from Chicago. Talk to us.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to get my picks in real quick. As for the main event, I'll start off there. I got a close fight, actually, man. I think it's going to be exciting. I think Jessie Vargas is going to land some good punches, but at the end of the day, I got Manny Pacquiao by decision. The Jessie Magdaleno fight, I'm actually taking Jessie, man. I've seen some of his fights. I like what I see, and I just don't have the confidence in Donaire anymore. So I'm picking Magdaleno on the upset. What's the other one? Oscar Valdez, I got him by stoppage. Probably 5th or 6th round stoppage. Tomorrow night, there's a pretty good one on Solo Boxeo, man. Andy Valdez against Casey Ramos. I'm going with Andy Valdez there.
Yeah, man, we had Valdez on this show a little while ago, man. That's 2 undefeated fighters. I'm interested in that because we also follow Casey Ramos. Our Texas guy, Anthony Rodriguez, has done a bunch of interviews with him that are up on the YouTube, man. I'm interested in that one too.
Yeah, that's right. I remember when you guys had Andy on, and he sounded pretty confident. And I don't know, I've seen his fights, and he's pretty good too. So I think he's gonna get the win tomorrow.
Well, what about the Schming fight? How do you see the? You think Drew Schming is gonna get his second? He's gonna win his second opportunity to get that belt against the guy who already beat in his 4th fight.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, I don't really like Zhu Shiming. Every fight I've seen of his, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just his style. I don't know. There's some guys who just put you to sleep, and that's one guy that just puts me to sleep, man. But he's going to outbox the other guy. I don't know who the other guy is, to be honest with you, but I know Zhu Shiming.
He's a high volume guy with not a lot of pop in his punches and doesn't really show much defense. He's not. He is from Indonesia, right? I do not know how to pronounce his name, but he defeated him in his 6th professional fight. I think we saw that on TV, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think Zhu Shiming is this probably his last TV chance here. You know, it's like.
Well, I mean, he'll get another shot if he gets a belt, right? He's going to get served up to another opponent. I mean, I assume they still watch him in China. I mean. I'm still waiting for that big heavyweight. What's his name? Yeah. Zing Ness. What's the 7-foot heavyweight from China? The one gold.
I don't know.
The Golden Boy fighter.
Yeah.
That guy is something else, man. That's just a freak show there, man. That's just for entertainment value.
Well, he's with Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt says by 2017 he should be ready to start stepping it up, you know?
Hey, I mean,
Yo, his name's
Value
actually
Up, man. He had a good career, and he kind of is a freak show. That's all I'm saying.
His name is actually Tayshawn Dong. Going back to Tone though. Tone, did you make a Valdez pick? Are you gonna be making that pick, or do you think that kind of goes without saying?
Oh, yeah, no, I did. I had a Valdez by a mid stoppage, maybe 6th round or so. Valdez by KO. Other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for the show, fellas.
Tone, man, thank you for calling in, brother. Thank you for calling in. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. We're gonna get out.
Ness, I'm sorry to interrupt yet again, but we have another big shout out that we gotta do right now before we get to the rest of these callers. Hey, maybe in the meantime, while we're getting this situated, maybe we get some more likes on YouTube.
Fight fans, don't be a jack in the box and take the decisions of the judges. Use the Throwdown scoring app. Score the fights live, round by round. Make your predictions boldly. Challenge your friends. Receive live punch stats directly from CompuBox. Now go download this absolutely free on your Android Google Play Store and on the Apple App Store.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube, the guy you're seeing holding this IBF TBV division championship title here is Bruce. And Bruce has made it official. He is coming to Unify at the TBV Appreciation Night. So it is imperative that you guys join us there if you want to see the goods, right? Because remember, Enrique is going to be bringing his titles, who I also got confirmation from Jose that bet is official. Jose also sent the picture of his bet. We won't be showing that, not just today, but yeah, it looks like we are having a unification, and on TBV Appreciation Night, there will be an undisputed. Well, actually, not necessarily, right? Because the fight actually happens Saturday. The one that Bruce will be challenging whoever wins, Jessie Vargas, and you know, and Manny Pacquiao, because Jose and Enrique have a bet placed on that fight for the WBO, and Enrique has the ring and WBC that he defeated poor Joey. Joey hasn't called in. I feel terrible. He hasn't called in since he lost that belt, man. That is no good. And you guys are right. There will be a Crow Fest, not only Sunday, but every Sunday moving forward, because now there's a producer. So no lies can be told. Only the truth can set you free. Hit that thumbs up button if you're down with TBV. We're going to head on out to some of our Patreon peoples on Skype. Andre, talk to us.
Yo, good evening, everybody. What's going on today?
What's up? What's up, brother?
Okay, I'm going to get my picks on. We'll get that OG cut it soundbite. All right, I'm going to go with Pacquiao, basically decision. I'm going to go with Oscar by knockout. Nonito, Jessie. For some reason, I don't think Nonito have fighting themselves, so I'm gonna go with Jessie with that. The Briggs Brown, I'm not even gonna talk about it due to my relationship with the Briggs. What's up with the Joshua Klitschko? I missed that part. Is that official?
That is definitely official for the WBA.
And when's the date for that?
April.
If this is only if Anthony Joshua gets past Eric, the math teacher Molina.
Eric, the upset-minded Molina.
Eric. Yeah, so that's basically
just got out of class, Molina.
So that's basically about it. And that's basically about it, guys. Man, guys, join the Patreon if you're not a part of it, man. I need a fellow member to join me in this mastermind group. So that's about it.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, because Bruce said he's thinking of doing that. He might have changed his mind. I'm not sure, but he definitely mentioned it. Let me see who else we got here. Josh, New Orleans, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it quick and short. I'm similar. I'm agreeing with MD tonight. Kind of on my picks for Jessie Vargas and Pacquiao. I will say I am getting tired of Pacquiao. I think his time is done because he's only showing us that he gonna fight a certain level of fighters. He's not willing to step in there with all the top welterweights we got in the world right now. So, unfortunately, I would love for that torch to be passed, but I don't think Jessie Vargas has the boxing skill to beat him. Boxing skill or IQ. So I'm picking Pacquiao in that fight. Nonito Donaire against that Jessie guy. I honestly don't know much about him. The guy he's fighting. I'm gonna kind of make a uneducational guess just to see if I'm gonna end up being right. I'm gonna pick Nonito Donaire because he showed that he can beat guys that's not on a certain level, but he lose all to the top guys. So that Jessie guy, I haven't heard much of him and I haven't seen much, and I really doubt that he's somebody that's gonna take over the weight division or anything. So I'm gonna pick Donaire on that one.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. This is going very smoothly. Everyone making their picks. We got Alex Lemon in the chat. What's going on, Alex?
What's up, Ness? TBV. Call you guys up. Let you guys know I ordered the fight. Can't wait, man. It's going to be an exciting, explosive fight. But I'm still going to take Pacquiao.
Already ordered the fight, right? You're not risking it.
Huh?
You said you're already ordered the fight, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a done deal.
I feel you.
So with my picks, I'm taking Pacquiao. I wanted Vargas to win, but I was watching his old fights against DeMarco, and then I remember the Bradley, and I just don't think he's gonna be able to do it. So I'm gonna take Pacquiao, and then I'm definitely gonna take Jessie Magdaleno. And for anybody who hasn't seen him, Uni Mas, they replay all his fights on there, man. And then definitely gonna take Valdez, and then Benches.
Yo, but Magdaleno, man, how can you be so sure? Because I think I pretty much watched all the fights that he's had, and I'm definitely not sold.
You're not sold, man. I was sold last couple, like 2 fights ago, man. But they just never gave him the opportunity. I was like, I thought this is kind of. I don't think this is too soon. I actually think this is kind of on the late train. I think they should have been giving him a shot.
Yeah, but don't you think
this guy looks extremely good?
But don't you think it's weird also this shot? It's like he's never even been on HBO. The last time he was on TV, like real TV, was ESPN.
Right. Yeah.
I get you.
The whole
like
business aspect of that.
I get you. Like, yeah, yo, he's on Solo Boxel, whatever. But we all know that Solo Boxel is like for dudes that made it yet.
But Ness, you also have to remember that Nonito Donaire's status has kind of fallen a little bit, so it's not really obscene to see him get an opportunity right now, right? This is not the Nonito Donaire that just lost to Rigondeaux. Like, he's been beat twice, right? So it takes some time for a fighter even of Donaire's. I mean, there was a time Donaire was like top 5 pound for pound, right? That was before he fought Rigondeaux. So I think it's a good time for this fight, and
I think Bob Arum, real quick, Ness. I think Bob Arum is about to cash out on Donaire. He's thinking this is his last check, his last chance.
Hey, Alex, you're watching on YouTube as well, right? Because I always see you in the chat.
If you guys feel like
my tablet just went blank on me, man.
Oh man, you gotta charge.
I'm just on the phone.
Yo, so if any of you guys think that Magdaleno's going to win, right, you guys should put money on him. He's an underdog, so that would be a smart bet to make if you actually believe.
I might send you, how much of an underdog? How much of an underdog?
I think he's like plus 140.
Plus 140. That's not much, man.
Well, I mean, if you think he's going to win and you're pretty confident, right?
Yeah, but 100 only gets you 240, right?
Yeah, but like I said, if in your mind you think a 50-50 bet, right, could go either way, a 50-50 fight could go either way, and you're favoring one guy, and he's getting 140 odds. That's a smart bet if you believe that, right? I just don't think he's going to win, so I wouldn't put money on him.
I want to interrupt you, and I hope that no one gets upset about that, but I think that we've had this image up long enough without a proper explanation to those in the chat, and probably those that are going to see this in the past, future, or the present, right? This is the TBV Appreciation Night West Coast location. So, Alex, that's why I was asking where you watching on YouTube. So you should do so now, since your call is over. Get that thing charged up and take a look at where we will be gathering with the guest names, right? Because I haven't been able to tell you. I've been hard at work. So first up, we got producer. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this a little better right here. I got something for this.
Oh, you want to play a guess? You want to play guessing games?
No guessing game. Let me see if I got where is it? Maybe I got to make this a little bigger here. Started moving things around. Might have changed something up. I'm looking for my drum. Here we go.
Oh, the drum roll.
Up first. On the guest list for the TBV West Coast Appreciation Night, we have Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, up-and-coming prospect. We've had him on the show. You've seen him on PBC. He's been on TV. Caleb Plant, actually Monsterpiece, your favorite. And I was just talking to Monsterpiece off air, trying to get her to come out there. So I didn't even tell her that. Now you know. Caleb Plant will be at the TBV Appreciation Night. Next up, we have a repeat attendee. Steven, can you help me out? Who could it possibly be?
Well, it's got to be probably someone who's been with TBV from its inception, right? I mean, who else would be a recurring attendee if they haven't been pro TBV for, what are we on, like 5 years now?
Yeah, about 5 years, yeah.
I can only think of one.
So,
and
his name?
Kid Chocolate. Peter Quillen, everybody. Peter Quillen is going to be there live in attendance. I didn't get to see him and meet him in person last time. I was so jealous. I got to see everybody on that amazingly well shot and very well edited TBV fan appreciation video that's on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, go make sure you go check that out.
Definitely.
But
shout out to Titan Media. They will be in the building on location getting this. So if you want to be famous, you need to get your tickets because TBV Appreciation Night is going to be crazy. But we still got more names to get to and a lot more boxing talk, plus a lot more predictions to take. So don't get restless because we got to give you this information. So up on the list next, Mario Barrios. Young up-and-coming prospect Mario Barrios from the San Antonio area is going to be in the building. So definitely, and his father trainer, as well as some more, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, all right? We're going to go one at a time. But Mario Barrios and his father, Martin, will be in the building.
Entourage.
Okay.
You're talking about Entourage, right?
No. I'm talking about some big name guests coming up because there's still more to come. We got Mario Barrios, Caleb Plant, Peter Quillen. If that isn't enough, the trainer of Daniel Jacobs, Andre Rozier. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Rozier will also be in the building. So we need you guys to come out because it's going to be really sad if this venue is filled with only fighters and celebrities and no fans to show them some love.
Mr. Rozier, a.k.a. Mr. 40%.
AKA Mr. 40%. So if you don't like the way that those negotiations with Jacobs is coming, well, then you need to come and talk to him yourself. You know what I'm saying? Andre Rozier, trainer of Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Derevchenko. He has a bunch of Russians that we're going to be seeing. Ivan Heatroff. You know what I'm saying? So even though MD doesn't like him, he's going to learn to like him because he's got all MD's favorite fighters. You know how it goes.
But when he was fighting, what was his nickname?
I don't know, but that's something you can ask him at the TBV Appreciation.
Because right now it's Mr. 40% until I could find his.
Whatever works for you, buddy. But now we got Caleb Plant, Mario Barrios, Andre Rozier, Peter Quillen, And we also have the trainer of Andre Ward, Amir King Khan, Andre Berto, Mario Barrios, Peter Quillen. He's trained Demetrius Andrade, Kareem Mayfield. The list goes on and on. Brandon Gonzalez, the Whisperer himself, Mr. First line of defense. Then you got your second line of defense. Virgil Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, Virgil Hunter will be in the building. So I'm just going to say TBV has done their part. We are hoping that our listeners do theirs. I see people saying bring it to New York, bring it to Miami. You got to understand that wherever it's at, it has to do well there before it can go anywhere else. So if this is not a success, it dies here. Do not let, look at that. That's why this is why Patreon is so important. The producer left for 1 minute. The dude probably just had to go fucking whiz, and I almost was done with this and allowing you guys to believe that that was it with the guest list, right? Well, I'm wrong. I'm wrong again. But that's why the producer is all that, a bag of chips.
This is definitely the biggest one.
Willie Monroe Jr., El Mongoose, is also going to be in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we hope that you guys come out and enjoy yourselves with us. You know, food and drinks will be included. We're hiring a great cater service. And you know, we have bartenders for you. We're going to have live entertainment. Obviously, we're going to be playing some fights, low-level fights, just so you can see it in the background. Maybe some Brona Maidana in the background. Maybe some Danny Matisse in the background.
And Ness, but I mean, these fight fans don't have many opportunities to, you know, up in person, up close, talk to a guy who possibly won a round against Golovkin. So it's, you know, it's pretty, possibly.
How about the guy who touched him up more than any other fighter? Can we at least give him that?
Wait. The issue with that is that guy, right? That guy, he's recovering. He's recovering from a broken orbital. So you know.
All I see is that the
done got
real with MD. I mean, MD is saying, you guys could talk to Willie Monroe about possibly winning one round.
No, he's real. Like, you have to understand, I'm joking. Ness. Wait, like as much you don't understand. Like if you guys
winner of ESPN Boxino tournament, no, that's not one of the highlights.
No, like I'm about to be like for real. Like a lot of, if you guys haven't met a lot of these boxers, right? They're really nice people in person. You know, a lot of pro athletes their egos are too big, in which they don't like talk to the fans, right? I remember like one of the first fights I ever went to when I was covering for Ness, right? Austin Trout. You know, he knew we were at the Boxing Voice. You know, he knew like how the Boxing Voice was a positive impact of the boxing community, and they all were outgoing and nice people, like Austin Trout, you know, a few other guys too. So you guys will have a great time, and hopefully I could get out there. All these guys seem like, you know, a fun time. You guys could talk about boxing with all of them, and they all love to talk boxing.
Man, I'm just hoping that it turns out to be, you know, awesome. Sean Zattel will be there. Anthony Rodriguez from Texas is trying to make the trip. I'm trying to squeeze MD. He's playing hard to get over here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand why. We will be having unifications as well as giveaways too, man. We got not giveaway. Well, actually,
oh yeah, the TBV goodie bags. I forgot all about that.
I know.
We gotta pick that up, man. That's looking better and better by the day.
Yeah, we got some goodie bags to give away because Everlast has decided to give you guys. I'm not even gonna mention what comes in the goodie bag, but definitely some stuff in the goodie bags by Everlast. And who knows, you might even get a WBC patch. I don't know what you might get. You know, you just
all right. So reel them off again. What exactly is going to be there? We got food, we got drinks, we got an amazing villa. That's like a 5-star villa, the kind of the kind of stuff you dream about when it comes to Vegas trips.
I called Floyd and I said, Floyd, Going to Vegas. I need the big boy mansion. He said, Ness, you got the big boy mansion. I said, all right then.
Is there like an IV hookup in the side if we get dehydrated, drinking a little too much, right?
Necessary. That comes standard in any.
You got to get the minerals. You got to get the minerals inside the veins intravenously, right? 2 or 3 liters. Right?
As soon as you cross the border to get to Vegas.
Don't you worry about it, MD. It came equipped with a sub-zero cryo chamber in case any of us needed to, I don't know, recover.
I feel you.
This guy is he is bad. Yo. I love it. I really do. Listen, again, if you're interested in going to the TBV Appreciation Night, we need you to head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com. Right at the top, you're going to see TBV Appreciation Night tickets. Get them immediately. We need everyone. I implore you. Do not allow. Listen, this is bigger than last year. How many guests is that?
By my count, I lost count. It's like I stopped counting at like 7 because it got too much. There's too much to keep track of.
Not to mention that on the short list is Austin Trout is on my short list. Erickson Lubin is on my short list. Tevin Farmer might be on
the fact that you got Virgil Hunter at all is incredible. Like, I mean, how many? Like the night before, one of the biggest fights boxing has had in the last, the last year.
You got your first line of defense, then you got your second line of defense, but then before you get to the third, you gotta cross TBV and Virgil Hunter's, unity. You know what I mean? We in there, baby. All we need you guys to do is come out, right? Because they watching, right? Everybody's watching, so we got to make this shit right. So if you're coming already, bring some friends. Hey. I'm going to have gloves for you, too. That's another thing, right? Everlast is giving us gloves. So, we're even going to get you some signed gloves at the location. There's 2 WBC belts that we're going to be auctioning off. Like I said, we're going to have the unification. We're going to have shirts for you guys. What else do you get? And, all the ones that I don't like, I'm going to have a nice right cross for you. No, I'm just joking. Let me get you some callers.
Oh, hey, Ness, just real quick. Sorry, I should have played the message. Before we get to those callers, let's see, who was it that just called in? Alex actually made a pick on the Vence's fight, and he picked Vence's. Just a quick update on that. They did just have their weigh-in, and Ramos came in weighing in at 129.8 pounds, while Andy Vence's came in at 129. And just to remind everybody, they are going to be fighting in a 10-round bout at Treasure Island, in Las Vegas. It's also going to be playing, I believe, on Unimas. So, check that out. We're following both their careers. I'm very excited about this fight. I'm going to make a pick about it later. And you guys were talking about the odds for this fight. I'm on Bovada, Sports Bovada, the Las Vegas official gaming thing, one of the many. And it says the odds is Manny Pacquiao is a -700 and Jessie Vargas a +450.
And I'm pretty sure I saw the knockout proposition odd for if you believe that Jessie Vargas is going to win via KO is about a 12-1. So.
All right. So let's speed this up. Get that clock ready, ladies and gentlemen. You're on a 3-minute clock. We don't, you know what it is. You hear this? Cut it. You spoke too long. And,
It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal.
Cry me a river on Skype, Scorsese. Talk to me.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Call me, cry me a river face on Skype, Scorsese. He all in the chat like, oh, I ain't get to I'm dying on Skype.
You hear me though?
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know if the producer did the homework. I gave it to him last week, but I did it myself. And those fighters that won fight of the year 2 times in less than 3 years, Carmen Basilio, Frazier, Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and could have been Terrence Crawford, but instead the callers and the host of this show rather him be listed with the names of Adrian Bronner, Mickey Bay.
But what did they say? Could have or should have? Like The only thing that close matters, right, is horseshoes and hand grenades. And Terrence Crawford, no matter what he does against,
I don't understand, Scorsese. Like, who did he expect Terrence Crawford to fight in like 6.5 weeks' notice, man?
he's saying that he could have fought somebody great, like, and not that he should have or shouldn't have, but he's arguing that if he would have beaten somebody great, he would have had Fighter of the Year. But to be honest, right, I think Fighter of the Year, and I know it's unfortunate, but if there's a decisive winner, which there could be, obviously, between the Ward Kovalev, it has to be one of those dudes, right? Especially if Andre Ward. Go ahead.
Oh, Terrence Crawford knocked out his easy work in Hank Lundy. And Andre Ward sit there and play with his food for 12 rounds. If Kovalev is the win, Chilemba gets you Fight of the Year. Andre Ward off of what? We don't know what Andre Ward is right now. People don't even want to pick that fight, but not Kovalev. Andre Ward possibly because he'd be, but then again, he ain't done nothing except for beat Barrera by 12. Terrence Crawford be the unified champion in 12 rounds, and then possibly Felix Diaz. He would have been the fighter, and if he wouldn't have been, politics is crazy. It's ignorance.
So the way
you're hold on. Scorsese, you got 50 seconds to make your picks, bro.
50 seconds. I was gonna get to him. Pacquiao gonna hit Vargas, and Vargas gonna be like, you know what? The hell with it. He ain't gonna pull a Rios and get hit. He gonna pull a Vargas and just he got that identity now. He don't think people can take his punches. He gonna let his hands go, and it's gonna be probably a fun fight. But Pacquiao gonna, outclass him and probably knock him down a few times, and he might even hit him to the point later in the fight where he just kind of quit throwing because he already let the bars go, and it didn't work. But as far as Donaire, this is a mandatory fight, so they're not cashing nobody out. They got to do it. He the number one in WBO and WBO champ. Donaire by knockout, but I do like Magdaleno. Donaire he ain't shot. He there. As long as he don't get cut it.
Michael, talk to me.
Ness, you hear me, mate?
Loud and clear, baby.
What's happening, TBV?
All good. So
what it is. Pac-Man ain't had a stoppage TKO, was it? Cotto 2009, I think. 2009, I think that was 140 as well. The power hasn't carried. You know what I mean? He couldn't get Algeria out of there, and he put him down like, all right, 2 of them probably slips, but he put him down 6 times or something. Power hasn't carried. He will not stop Vargas. I'm pretty confident of that. I think Vargas has got a fight in this chance. I really do. It just depends how much of Pacquiao is left, how much he actually wants it. Does he want this Mayweather rematch? If he wants this Mayweather rematch, if he performs and he knocks Vargas out, will Mayweather give him the rematch? If he looks good, do you know what I mean? Is Mayweather going to take that risk?
I don't think Mayweather's ever fighting again. I really, and I know people are going to call me a hater for this, but the end of his career, the fact that he won, obviously his last fight was against Berto, but the Manny Pacquiao fight, it left a lot of question marks with the IV and the drug testing, right? And I think that he made his money, he got his last fight, and he's done. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I'm saying that it seems a perfect time for him not to come back. Does that make sense?
MD though, mate, like if you're Floyd Mayweather and you are Floyd Mayweather, your persona, are you happy to be on 49-0? Do you know what I mean? You want that record, mate. You want that record. You're going to come back regardless of who it is. You want to break that record.
I think he was smart when he chose to, not saying he wouldn't have beaten anybody, obviously, at 147, but I think he was smart when he chose to fight someone like Andre Berto and not a more dangerous opponent his last fight, that he knew that he gave it his all his entire career. He achieved greatness, and I think that he was kind of done with that because Andre Berto, like he obviously could beat Andre Berto even at 70%, and I think that he is a fighter who is done. His body seemed to
understand that, but
Gentlemen, I don't mean to interrupt, but we do have 40 seconds to finish making your pick. You said Vargas has a chance in this fight, but will he do it? Will he win it? What do you think?
Yes, but I'm going to come back on that and say that Berto has trained in the Mayweather gym for a long time. basically Mayweather fought him to give him a payday for me. Are you with that?
Yeah, and I also heard that something about like he was owed a big fight by Al Heyman. That wasn't that another rumor nest, right?
And he was talking Berto up with who's the guy? He
I
was
don't know,
talking
man.
with,
I learned this year not to believe rumors. The big rumor was PBC was failing, then they came back with this Empire Strikes Back beginning in 2017. So I don't know.
Cut it.
Everybody should sign up to Showtime. You get
Ricky,
2 rounds.
Live.
Can you hear me?
We hear you, Ricky.
Yes, I think Pacquiao would. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Pacquiao's too much for Vargas.
So you're picking Pacquiao?
Absolutely, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, we're picking him. What round are you going? Any specific round? Any fashion?
Dominant fashion.
All right. What about Oscar Valdez? Have you heard of Oscar Valdez, Ricky?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think he's amazing.
Okay, so you're picking him as well.
Yeah, I think Oscar Valdez will win, but I'm not sure on his opponent.
Yeah, neither are we. We never heard of him. What about the Nonito Jessie Magdaleno fight? Nonito Donaire, Jessie Magdaleno.
I think, yeah, I'm not really a huge Donaire fan. You know, I prefer Pacquiao.
Homework I gave to him last I did it myself, and those fighters that.
Yeah, I think Donaire has a chance.
Michael, mute yourself, Michael.
So, I mean, what, like you're saying, like you only could be a fan of one Filipino fighter? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, Donaire just seems a bit arrogant.
Okay. He seemed like to me. He seems like a nice guy, to be honest. I don't know if you want to judge the character of the two of them. I think that Donaire is less arrogant than Manny Pacquiao. If you want to like nitpick, right? Not that Manny Pacquiao is necessarily arrogant. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of, I've never really heard people say that about Donaire.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that Donaire just, it seems a little bit arrogant.
I hear you. I mean, Ness, you never heard that, have you?
Oh, Donaire. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, I could see where someone can assume that. He is confident. He's always been a confident guy, and I know for the build-up for this fight, he's saying that Magdaleno isn't ready. He feels Magdaleno was young, so I could see where Ricky's getting that from, where he may be getting that from. So, Ricky, what do you think about this Lucas Brown Shannon Briggs fiasco?
I think Shannon Briggs is a good talker for one, but he's he's not great.
He has muscles right now. He's in shape. I mean, at least Ness can't criticize that he's going to see two fat heavyweights fighting.
I was gonna.
It was good. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say shit. I wish I could look that good when I was his age. You know what I mean?
But you know what they're not doing? VADA test.
No, they gotta be. They gotta be. Lucas Brown. Remember, he was doing VADA anyway. That's
yeah. But like, I mean, that will also answer another question because let's keep it real.
Cut it.
I mean, thank you for calling in, Ricky, because for so long I thought you were a troll because Ricky has like a fucking avatar of a six-pack, and I'm like, damn, this dude's trolling me right now. He's trying to send me naked pic. But look, Ricky's actually a boxing fan. So, Ricky, change that avatar, but we're going to get you on more regularly. Don't worry about it.
But Ness, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would answer a lot of questions with Shannon Briggs being drug tested, right? I mean, it's not speculative to say that Shannon Briggs may be on something.
Well, I mean,
that's really not speculative. Let's keep it real.
Listen, hopefully they do that, right? I don't know. You could always write the WBA. Steve from Florida, Shannon Briggs is you're one of Shannon Briggs' fans. You live in Florida.
No. He's all
Let's
right,
go,
man.
champ. Let's go, champ.
The heavyweight fight.
Have you not seen him down there?
Went to one up when he was down here.
He always hangs out at the Whole Foods by like Delray Beach. Like, I don't know if it's by Delray Beach. It's by Nova. So Nova Southwestern University, right? And he just like, at least to the community, people around him, he gives autographs and takes pictures. So he seems like a nice guy, but I don't know. he gets a shot.
Yeah, he seems personable. I mean, I think he's a little past his prime, but hey, give him a shot. See what he does. He's his own promoter too, so give him a shot. See what he does. You know, I mean, I don't think he's going to do much, but he's got that power, so there's always a chance. But for what's going on with this Pacquiao thing, man? Why are people? He's going to get whitewashed, Jessie Vargas. The question shouldn't be, is he going to have what round it's going to be? It's what round. How many rounds is it going to be over under 2 rounds that he gets whitewashed, Jessie Vargas? It shouldn't even be anything but a Manny Pacquiao victory. Like, I don't even understand why anyone's even thinking anything else.
Because Jesse's the young lion.
He's a C-plus fighter. Come
His
on,
time
man.
is
He got
now.
whitewashed by Tim Bradley.
His time is now.
Oh, come on.
He's the champion. You're calling the champ a C+? You better make it a capital C. What kind of shit is that?
He's a C-plus fighter. Come on. He got whitewashed by Tim Bradley. And Bradley got whitewashed by Pacquiao. Come on. It's not even close. I'll be talking to you guys on Sunday, and I'll just reiterate.
Yeah, but this ain't elementary school math, bro. It's not A plus B equals C. You know, things are different here. We in algebra. We in junior high now.
I get it, but I know styles make fights, but this style is not going to work for him. He's a flat-footed fighter. Pacquiao's going to be all over the ring. He's not going to know. It's Brandon Rios, but a better Brandon Rios.
Yeah. We'll see Crow Day. What do you got for Magdaleno and Donaire?
I got Magdaleno. I got Valdez. Valdez is going to he's a lion. That's a lion right there.
Hey,
And that's it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for calling in. Let's see here. What do we got? Ali.
Jessie Vargas ain't a fucking lion. I'm sorry. Sorry.
He's what?
So Jessie Vargas is not a fucking lion. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous, David. I'm sorry.
Listen, I want to remind everybody that we are going to be doing an immediate reaction show Saturday night. We're going to have a producer, so we're going to be taking names. So don't forget. We're also doing Sunday, but immediately, especially, well, you know, the fight got to be good. If fucking Pacquiao goes 12 rounds, I don't know, man. Maybe my immediate reaction is going to be he should retire if he fucking goes 12 rounds, right? We're so used to Pacquiao being this super talent, but he hasn't been getting knockouts in a long time, and this is why some people are picking Jessie Vargas, the underdog. Ali from Dago, talk to me.
What's good with y'all, man? How's everybody doing?
We're good, brother.
For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna make it quick, man. I'm gonna go with Valdez winning, Magdaleno winning, and I got Pacquiao beating Vargas, but I give Vargas a shot at knocking Pacquiao out with that ducking overhand right that he always throws. You know, he hurt Bradley with it, and he dropped Ali with it, and then end up finishing Ali later. So, you know, I think that's the punch Pacquiao got to watch out for when Jessie ducks real low and throws that hard overhand right. But that's basically all I got, y'all. Yeah, have a good show.
All right, Ali. Well, thank you for calling in. Short and sweet.
Yo, Ness, the way Jessie Vargas throws his overhand right is nothing like Marquez's overhand right. I know that the last caller didn't say that, but
Placement,
people who
daddy, placement. It's all about placement. If you
but it's not. It's only placement. It's the setup, right? It's the way that Vargas sets up his overhand right. I mean, it wasn't like his overhand right that he set up on Saddam Ali was out of the ordinary. He wasn't necessarily setting traps. Like it was pretty.
He was working to land that the whole fight.
He was, but I think that it was not. He's not as quick, right? With when he jabs to the body and then throws up to the head as someone like Marquez would be. Like the hand speed is.
I agree.
I just think Vargas has very slow hands at this level, so we'll see.
That's why timing can kill speed.
I don't think he times that well either.
Well, that's why we got the producer.
I mean, Tim Bradley was looking like Pernell Whitaker in that fight. I mean, Tim Bradley gets hit in a lot of his fights, right? I mean, we saw Ruslan Provodnikov get to him. Jessie Vargas didn't do shit that entire fight. Landed one miracle punch. I'm sorry, like this dude is living off that fucking that one punch at the end of the fight. So I'm sorry, I have to just tell you how I feel. And
You know, Monsterpiece asked me a question on IG. I don't know if you guys got it, but she asked if Vargas lost, would we be interested in a rematch with the Bradley thing? And I remember being like, nah, just because, like what you said, MD, or in what
he schooled him.
Caller said. Yeah, he schooled for most of it, so I wouldn't really be interested in a rematch. But if Vargas won, I would want to see a rematch.
This is not a Frampton Leo Santa Cruz fight, right? When two guys get in a ring, right, and then one guy clearly doesn't seem to be on the same level. Why do we have to see it again? Like, he had his opportunity, and then it just, he just showed that he wasn't on that level, right? But let's move on.
All right, listen, really quick, producer, take this down for our Patreon. This is what you get when you're a Patreon member. If you can't call in, you want to make your picks, we take them in. So Info Joe, it ain't no show without Info Joe. Actually, in memory of Info Joe, who's listening right now but is at work. He's actually calling me now. I'm calling the wrong line, my friend. But in memory of Info Joe, let's just play his intro. Hopefully he calls in. Who knows, right? But
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
All right, Steven, you ready to go to work? You ready to go to work, Steven?
Yeah, man, I'm always ready.
Steven? Put Info Joe down for Vargas.
Yes.
Jessie
Another one.
Vargas.
I like that. He's the risk taker.
Oscar Valdez. Nonito Donaire.
I just hope some of these people, man, with these really, I don't see
Info Joe's gonna show up. He's coming to the TV Appreciation West.
Well,
Coast. He was at the East Coast party. He ain't no joke.
Yeah, we might have live Crow to serve at the party.
I mean, people take Crow, but honestly, if you really in your hearts believe that this guy's gonna win, you guys should just, by any legal means necessary, join an online website and put up some money, because you guys are going to get some good odds. So
I agree with you, MD.
If your heart and your head are aligned on this, put some money on it.
Let's get to these callers. Ryan, talk to me.
You hear me?
Losing you. Let me get to some of these callers over here. I got some alumni.
Long Beach in the house.
Yeah, Ness, I've been really excited about this fight since it was made. The easy math to do is Pac beat Bradley, and Bradley did that to Vargas. That's the easy math, but we've seen that not apply to several fights in the past. So I people say timing and styles make fights. I say attributes make fights, and no one's gonna beat Pacquiao in a shootout. However, we can use Bradley, for example. Every time Bradley in that 3-fight trilogy tried to have a shootout with Pacquiao, he got his ass whipped. The few moments, like in the beginning of the second fight, where he was about timing Pacquiao with that right hand, we seen him have great success. And if Jessie, for what he lacks, he can time just about anybody with that right hand. We even seen him, after being dominated 12 rounds, still be able to land and time Tim Bradley. Now, Tim Bradley, unlike Pacquiao, this is what I mean by attributes, is not a fighter that you can time Tim. Tim is not, however, Pacquiao is a rhythm fighter with that bounce, that double right, come with the left. You can time Tim, you can time Pacquiao, as we've seen Juan Marquez have to do over his 3-fight trilogy. He learned that he couldn't beat him in a shootout, but he could time him. And that's what I think, that's where I have a more than a punching chance for Jessie Vargas in that fight. And I just think this has fight of the year potential. I'm really excited about it, and I want to give Pacquiao kudos. Unlike most of the, I like to create those leagues, the senior league and all that. Another league I want is that 35 to 42 league. And that's the 7-year interval I like to use.
where you get the guys 35 to 42, and those guys don't want to dip back down and fight the young guys. You know, Mayweather don't want to come out here and fight Thurman. You know, Juan Marquez doesn't want to come back and have to fight, you know, Danny Garcia. So you got that 35 to 42 class, and Pacquiao, he's going back down there, and he's not pulling the toughest guy, but he's pulling a formidable guy for sure. He's gonna fight him. And
JP, you're bringing up all these good points. You better be telling me you're picking Vargas if you're making this much of a case for him, because you got 40 seconds. Make your picks.
You know what, Steven? I cannot tell you that because I'm gonna take Manny, but in a fight of the year.
I respect that.
Take Donaire because I gotta take Donaire because they're not pairing Manny and Donaire for the Filipino guys to lose. I hear the ticket sales are doing well at the Thomas and Mack. This is a draw for the Filipino crowd. They want both these guys to win. So I'm taking Donaire, I'm taking Manny, and I'll take Valdez, of course.
JP, did you hear the guest list? I ain't hear you say nothing, because I'm going to find you.
Hey, I did, and I like the addition of Caleb Plant. Man, I'm so excited to get he's ready to be whooped. I can't wait to get to Virgil because I got some questions I got to ask him. Like, you know, I just want to ask him, like, what happened to all of Berto's potential? Did Victor Ortiz just knock it all out of him? Because he was kind of an Errol Spence 5 years or 7 years ago or so. And, you know, I just got some intricate questions I want to ask him personally. I didn't hear the last guy you mentioned, though. Who was the last guest?
Willie Monroe.
Willie Monroe.
The Worm.
Oh, the Worm. No doubt, man. Super excited, man. And I can't wait to get to Brozier also and ask him some stuff about Daniel Jacobs. I would like to ask him, do you really think in your heart of hearts that this guy could beat Triple G? I know you got to say stuff in the public, but, you know, maybe with a little drink in you, and you might say something to somebody personally. So that's what I'm trying to get in. You feel me?
Well, I love the sound of that. I love the way that you're already thinking, man. A man who is definitely taking advantage. JP, I want to thank you. And remember, you know, you were the inspiration. This is the guy that said, Ness, we should be getting and receiving, giving and receiving awards here. Speaking of, man, wow, we have a caller that hasn't called in so long. We might not even. Yep, we do. Wow, look at that. So you can feel special, my friend. I'm a real guy through the thick and thin. Look at this.
Remember me? I'm Stuart Little. I'm Stuart Little.
What's happening, Nesta?
What's happening, Stuart Little? How are you, my friend?
Well, I thought I'd ring in. I mean, I've been in the chat most weeks. I've been listening to the show, and your admins have been driving me insane. It's like a Hillary Clinton rally. I mean, with the political correct bollocks that's going around. But you know, we'll move on and get on to the fights. Manny Pacquiao v Vargas, horrible fight. Jessie Vargas, I've said it to you before, is useless. His claim to fame is catching Timothy Bradley in the last minute of the 12th round. What else has he done? He beat Saddam Ali. Whoopie fucking doodah. I mean, at the end of the day, Manny's old. Manny's not the fighter he used to be. You know, he's slowing down. His accuracy is shocking now. He does a lot of footwork and not a lot of action with his fists. He's become quite a boring fighter to watch, Manny. I love Manny Pacquiao, I do, but
Stuart, is that a mental thing? Do you think that's a mental thing or a physical thing? Because I see physically he hasn't broken down at all. Mentally, maybe.
Well, I think it's mentally. It's like this. Is that Boxing MD?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's like this. I mean, Manny Pacquiao fights for money now. He's lost all his hunger. I mean, look at the fights he's been taking lately. He's not, you know, there's a lot of killers out there. Manny doesn't want any part of them. He wants to pick on feather-fisted chumps like Jessie Vargas. You know, and I don't mean to be cruel, but it is what it is. You know, I wish Manny Pacquiao go and pick someone like Errol Spence and show us he's still got it, or someone like Thurman or Brook or even Amir Khan. But we get we get the same old recycled top rank rubbish, don't we? And it's getting boring now, you know. And if I was an American, I certainly wouldn't be paying for Manny Pacquiao v Jessie Vargas. But I'm going to pick Pacquiao to win it. I don't know if he's going to stop Vargas, because Pacquiao's power seems to have just disappeared. He just doesn't have that power anymore like he used to have. Now, that could be the roids, that could be anything. You know, I'm not going to start making accusations, but his power's not there anymore. And I just can't pick Jessie Vargas. You know me, I've been calling in the show for years, and I don't think I've ever picked Jessie Vargas to win a fight. Now, he could be fighting you, Nestor, and I'd pick you to win. Do you know what I mean?
You better pick me over Jesse. You ain't seen my picture with him? Shit.
Well, I see how you fought Sean Porter, mate, and it'd be hard for me to pick you, I can assure you.
Good one.
I think the last performance I saw that was as bad as that was Henry Okunwande against Lennox Lewis when he got disqualified for holding. I just want to move on quickly to Anthony Joshua. The card is becoming worse by the week. I know we've got Dillian White and Chisora. It's just a trash fest, really, trash talking fest.
But Kugan Classius, whatever his name is saying that it's two guys from the street and they're fighting and they're heavyweights. Why wouldn't you want to pay for it? That's his quote.
Oh, hold on, everybody, hold on. Stuart, I respect you a lot. Your seniority around here, so I gave you the extra time, but you got to finish making your picks and we got to keep it moving. We have another show on Sunday. You guys can come chop it up then.
Saturday too, Stuart.
Yeah,
we'll be here for an immediate reaction show Saturday. Hopefully your boy
I'll give you my pick. I'll give you my pick. Manny Pacquiao by a wide points margin, and the Joshua Hearn card, disgraceful card, certainly won't be paying for it.
All right, Stu, stop being a stranger, brother. Thank you for calling in. We're going to keep it moving. I'm about to get some upset people because we are flipping a drive-by. We got to flip to this drive-by, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. Get your calls. Drive-by! There you go. That man. Actually, yep. Let me see here. Oh, we got so many people calling in. We got 778. 778. 778. We're gone. James, talk to us. James from DC, all around strong. What up?
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello? Yeah, man. What's up? Hey, look, man, I know it's drive-by mode, so I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. First of all, congratulations on the event. I told you on the text the other day I can't make it through the business adventures, but y'all going to have a great time. Hopefully Austin show out. He done did some work for me. That's my man. Getting on to the picks, man. I think Jessie going to win by knockout. I said it a couple months ago on the show. He got all the physical advantages. He got the height, length, power in the youth. Psychologically, he has beaten all of Freddie Roach's fight. He has beaten all of Freddie Roach's fights. Cut it.
Damn.
Now, hold on. We're gonna let him get his the Magdaleno pick in, just because he did say, congratulations, and he brought up the TBV party. That was 30 seconds, yo. Well, right now we just hit 50.
That is job by Dan.
So, but let's let him get that second pick in before we move on.
That shit felt like it was like, yo, hello, boop, goodbye.
We haven't done drive by in a while. We haven't done it in a minute. We've been really good.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, James. We apologize, but yo, that's the thing. We haven't done drive by in a while. We be staying here late. Go.
No, it's all good. I am a Patreon subscriber, but it's all good. But as far as the second pick, I don't even care about that. I just care about the main event, man. I got Jessie Vargas by knockout. Y'all heard it here first.
Wait.
I'm out.
Wait. You don't care about Nonito Donaire and Jessie Magdaleno?
I mean, I got Donaire getting knocked out too. Tell you the truth, I ain't knockout happy, but we see what Rigondeaux did to him, and after Wilder put the brake on him. He's a good fighter. He had a great career. I'm not saying he done, but I don't think he winning that jump.
Wow.
Just remember I said it, man. So anyway, get to the next caller, man. I'm out.
Don't worry, because now there's a producer, so
What
there's gonna be some crow to serve. No one will escape this list.
Yo, I'm reminded.
I'll call back. I can face mine. Just make sure if it go the way I said it's gonna go, make sure y'all take y'all for.
All right, James. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, Nuss, I remember the callers. How many of them were ODing on Crow after the last Manny Pacquiao fight when you yourself picked Tim Bradley, right? You guys need to stop picking against Pacquiao, man. He always comes through, especially with an opponent like Jessie Vargas. Let's be real.
Yeah, he does come through. Like, you know, we see flaws, but it's like, I don't know, mere mortals and gods, right? And that's kind of the way it is. Like,
and Marquez is a fucking legend. Let's not pretend to take anything away from him. Marquez is a legend. Jessie Vargas has achieved really nothing compared to Marquez. It's not fair to compare the two.
No, and again, you're speaking just the truth, honestly. But listen, I you know, even I was taken back by the duration of the drive-by, but those are the rules. So for those that are upset, listen, we did 3 hours, right? And we do that almost daily. So, you know,
Yo, just a quick check in. So right now we have 7 people going for Vargas, 15 going for Pacquiao.
Damn, I can't even believe it made it that far up. Suleiman the Scholar, talk to us.
Okay, how you doing? Good evening. I'm on drive by my house, so I'm driving by saying that Jessie Vargas is gonna knock out Manny Pacquiao on the 5th round. I mean, he's gonna get stunned maybe in the 2nd round. Manny Pacquiao with that little lunging 1-2 that he does, but it's kind of played out. He's like a footy coach before he got retired. So I see Jessie tattooing him with that right hand, busting him up, and by the 5th round, the referee's gonna stop it. It's a TKO. TKO knockout.
Cut it.
646 drive by.
Yeah, first time caller.
Oh shit, no drive by for you. How long you been listening?
About a year and a half.
Damn, year and a half. What made you finally call in? Manny Pacquiao?
Nah, man. In all honesty, Shannon Briggs, man.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. This guy moves the needle. This guy moves the needle, and that's Shannon Briggs.
I love it.
Does move the needle.
All right, so last question.
Let's go, champ.
Last question. How did you find us?
You know, I think it was after one of the Canelo fights. I might have came up on the blog. I used to follow a bunch of other blogs, and you guys came up. So it is what it is.
So via YouTube, is that kind of your platform?
Yeah, I listen to YouTube. I work overnight, so you guys get me through your 3-hour shows. Get me through half my night.
Oh man, that's amazing.
And you know what that does, right? That gives us a chance to remind everybody watching to please hit thumbs up, because callers like this guy would have never seen our show if you guys don't like up and share our content.
See? Exactly. That is absolutely right, MD. I'm glad you pieced that together for them. Listen, so you've been listening for a year and a half. You know the tradition, so we're going to head and give you this intro and come out of Adonis Creed.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Standing at the 5'11", 250 pounds, Jay Winner. We here.
Hey, Winner. I like it. All right. You're not on drive-by, so Jessie Vargas, Manny Pacquiao, who you got and why?
Oh, young guns, man. Young guns. So it's all about Jessie Vargas. I love Manny Pacquiao, but it's all about Jessie Vargas.
Oh, shit. All right. And what about Oscar Valdez?
I'm not too familiar with them, so I can't even make that pick, to be honest with you. But, you know, like I said, I go with the young guns. So I like Nonito, but I got to go with young guns.
Oh, wow. You're also taking Magdaleno. Okay, so you're here. You wanted to talk Briggs. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, I just want to say, man, and I know a lot of people don't give him a chance, and maybe he don't got one, but I'm just one of those guys. I got to respect the man's hustle. You know, I'm all about storylines, and the fact is, this dude was on the brink of suicide and took himself out of that hole. So I think if for nothing else, he's a role model to other people that, you know what, even if people count you out, you know, man, the man in the mirror is the only that matters.
Hey man, inspirational words. We can't come back from that. Usually I would take it to, the fact that he's not ranked, but
Yo, I mean,
his campaign and that slogan "Let's Go Champ" has inspired people, and we'll see.
well, so Adrian Broner, right? He has a chance to be a role model, right? Almost killed himself over a girl. Now,
Oh my God, this guy's dry
All
humor.
right. MD, I'm gonna catch you one day when I call earlier, MD. I'm catch you one day when I call earlier.
Dude, you know what, Ness? You know what? Put it out there. Just tell Shannon to come through for the appreciation night because I think everybody would like that.
Well, and caller, I'm messing with you because to be honest, I've been on the side of I respect Shannon Briggs also. People talk about him, and I'm always for people outside boxing talking about a boxer. And that's what's happened with him because he is self-promoting, which a lot of boxers can learn from. So he might not have a chance in the ring, but he's been doing things outside that a lot of boxers could learn from.
Well, I'll put you like this, man. I know I got to go after this, but I'll put you like this. You had a prospect on earlier today, 5-0, and the dude, I mean,
90 seconds.
Maybe it'll grow, maybe it'll come out sooner or later, but he had no personality. You would not have had that problem had you had Let's Go Champ on there.
Yo, there's no denying that.
You
You're
know what, man?
absolutely
Great.
right. That's true.
So I'll say to the public out there, man, great show. Love the boxing voice, man. Next time y'all come to New York, maybe I'll drop the 120. Come check y'all out.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, Jay Winner, man.
60 seconds.
For making your picks. I want to remind everyone to definitely drop us a 5-star review if you're listening on iTunes, TuneIn, and Stitcher. It's very important. And don't forget, we still have tickets available. Head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com. At the top, you can get your TBV Appreciation Night tickets. We have a great lineup, like we said. Virgil Hunter, trainer of Andre Ward, Andre Rozier, trainer of Daniel Jacobs. We got Mario Barrios, up-and-coming prospect. We got Caleb Plant on that, crossing over from prospect to contender. He needs that contender fight, right? And we got Willie Monroe Jr. You just never know. He might end
10
up
seconds.
if the Billy Joe Saunders negotiations don't go well, which we know he likes to price himself out. You seen what happened with Golovkin. Well, then that, Willie Monroe could end up being that sliding opponent for Canelo. So come out, answer your questions.
So like Virgil Hunter, like we assume he comes with no entourage because he's from the old school, right? No entourage.
Well, you never know. Virgil knows me, right? Andre definitely knows me. You never know, right? What if Virgil's like, hey, Dre, man, you know how he talks in that soft spoken. He's like, I'm gonna go over there, and that's they're gonna have this thing going on. Peter Quillen's gonna be there, Mario. But you just never know. This is a possibility. Don't get me wrong. This is the biggest fight of his life. He might just want to be in his hotel room with his kids. Who knows? But there's still a possibility that he's not that type. That he releases his anxiety differently, and maybe he does want to go out and just be with Virgil so that Virgil could receive whatever it is TBV is going to give him and then leave really quick. I mean, I don't know. You never know, right? The thing is, you have to come to find out, because if it does happen, you're going to be watching it on video, kicking yourself all up and down the street is all I'm saying. Listen, let's get back out to these calls. We got a lot. It's still drive-by. Producer, get that clock ready. Rip that engine. We got 609. It's Fish from South Jersey. Come on, Fish. Talking to the mic, Fish.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We hear you. We hear you.
All right, cool. I'm going with Pacquiao. I seen Sean Tell on Dante's Boxing Nation. So my question is there any way that we could do a round table with you, Dante, Boxing Ego? Because I think that'll be everybody's objective. And the WBO, they ripped the asshole into Triple G. So why the hell is Triple G even worried about that WBO belt? Because he's a superstar, right?
Cut it.
I gotta go.
Cut it.
Fish. Yo, you know that I had scheduled Dante's, man. Hopefully we could do something, He was supposed to be on, I think it was for the Golovkin immediate show. But, different time zone shit happens. I'll still try and get that done. Josue, Lower Oregon, talk to me.
Hey, como dicen en Mexico, hay que dejarse de mamadas. I got Jessie Vargas by TKO, late round, and fuck Manny Pacquiao, and that's all I got. Thank you, Ness.
All right, Josue, thanks for calling in, man. Long-term listener, bro. We got some alumni. Damn, alumni. I don't even know. And then he complains, but what could you do? You know, it is what it is.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Hey, I'm about to put my picks in. I'm gonna pick all 3 of the Indians is gonna beat. All 3 of the Indians gonna beat Valdez and Magdaleno and Vargas. All 3 of the Indians gonna beat. I'm putting my money on the three little Indian boys. And Pacquiao, I want him out. I want him the hell out of boxing, man. This guy got to get out of boxing. I hope Vargas hurt him bad, man.
Cut it.
Wood, you gotta hurry up, baby. Drive by 703. You're up.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up? Who's this?
I'm picking. It's Christian Fernandez.
Christian Fernandez. What's going on, brother? Can't wait to meet you, man.
Hey, chilling, man. Hey, same. Can't wait to meet you guys. I just want to get my picks in real quick. I'm busy at work. I'm going Pacquiao, Donaire, and Valdez.
All right. Christian, man, I hope you're excited about that lineup. I'm excited that you've already purchased your tickets. Be like Christian. Purchase your tickets. Get in on this TBV Fan Appreciation Night. Get in on all this, fan fighter interaction, okay? Do not sit around at home thinking that you're going to get in on the next one. Remember, each one has to outdo itself in order for the next one. You think Virgil's going to come back to an empty fucking venue? Don't make me smack you. This is my hand. No, this is your face. This is my hand. Get the damn tickets.
And if you are sitting at home watching on YouTube, you should please hit that thumbs up button.
Very true, MD. Good doctor, always prescribing just the right amount of logic. We're going to get to some callers. We got Hurricane Ray.
Yo, what's good, man? Hey, Ness, I got to give you a shout out for pressing Angel Garcia in the interview the other day. You asked him some pretty good questions there. As far as my picks, I got Pacquiao. Hopefully, he's able to stop by the 10th round. And I got Lomachenko, Fighter of the Year. So basically, that's my call for tonight. Big up, fellas. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope the event turns out to be amazing.
Won't be amazing unless you show, Hurricane. Make sure you get down there. Class and bound, you are up.
Yo, what's up, dude? So let me make this quick. I'm picking Pacquiao. He's going to dominate. If you hate Pacquiao, go suck it because he's about to put on a one-sided beatdown. I got Magdaleno beating Donaire. I've got Valdez impressing once again. And obviously, I'm picking Schming because I don't know anything about his other opponent. Also, I don't know if you brought up the whole Andre pulled out of another fight again. I don't know if that's
Cut it.
We did bring that up on I think it was 2 shows ago, that I don't know if it necessarily means that he pulled out, but at least his team was unorganized to sign certain papers to get him a visa or to get him over there. So yes, Andrade has pulled out of his fight in Germany.
Yeah, but I think that it's better that way, MD. It works out better. He was already involved in some sort of WBC tournament, which would
better that way. Why? He should have fought that guy and moved on for better things. It was a good fight.
All right. I mean, okay, you're right. Having a belt is always better, but what I mean is his constellation is like he's already involved in this WBC tournament. So that will make him the mandatory for the Jamil Charlo. I mean, for Jamel Charlo.
Yeah, so he should sit around and wait instead of go to Germany and get a belt. Like I know
not sit around and wait. But if something like this happened, plus Jack Colclay, who the fuck has heard of him? Like,
it doesn't matter. He would have gone and.
He weren't even getting it on TV.
Andrade's has had a long period of time in which he hasn't fought, right? A lot of these other guys in the division are moving forward without him, and he seems to be just as talented, if not more, than any of them. So I think for him going to Germany to fight even a Jack Colclay, what is he, an undefeated German fighter? At least he has the opportunity to win a belt internationally, and he has to do that because he's not connected to any big network right now.
And again, you're speaking more truth. He absolutely needs to do with it. But again, like I said, his consolation is that he's still involved in this tournament that's going to put him at another title shot quickly. It's going to put him at a title shot quickly. And with Jamal already saying that after the Julian Williams fight, he's moving up. It's even more like, I don't know. Let's see. Because, we've seen stranger things happen. But let's get to our boomerang. Bruce City Bruce, what's going on?
What up, Ness? I'm actually looking at tickets right now for the fight.
How they looking?
Why I didn't call in until right now. I don't know. I guess they just released some decent ones here, man, but they're still a little pricey.
Are you looking at it through StubHub or through Ticketmaster?
Oh, no, I was on the official site, AXS.
Yeah, so for a fight like this that may not necessarily be sold out, right? You for sure could get secondary markets, maybe closer to the fight that there will be discounted tickets. So I wouldn't necessarily just go through the actual Ticketmaster or through the actual website in this scenario, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know a dude out there that's a ticket broker that I've been talking to, and I was actually thinking about waiting until I got out to Vegas to see if the price drops or anything. So hopefully it happens. If not, I'll be sitting up with Steve.
Bro, there would be a seat next to me for you, man. You know it, dude. I'd enjoy watching that fight with you out there in the balcony. But I'm in row A, though. I might be in the balcony, but I'm in row A at the balcony. It's the best type of balcony you can get.
They say that's a good seat, though. For real.
I checked it all online, dude. I wasn't about to spend money on that on a fucking balcony seat unless I thoroughly researched it and made sure that I'd get, at least half of my money's worth. More like 75. They're not bad.
Yeah, no doubt. But all right, let me get in with these fights this weekend. I'm gonna go with Pacquiao. I don't want him to win because I think it'd be good for boxing if he lost. But I don't think Vargas got it. Who else? Oh yeah, Oscar Valdez, early, quick, 5th round maybe. And I'm gonna go with, man, this is a tough fight. I'm gonna take Nonito Donaire.
And thoughts on Shannon Briggs?
Oh man, you know what, man? He does his thing. I don't know. I mean, I always thought he was a cornball myself, but I think he's gonna get hurt. Honestly.
Yo, what about the Andy Vince's fight versus Casey Ramos? Who you got?
Oh man, you know what? I think I'm gonna take Ramos, man.
Well, I'm gonna write you down for that. So
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, go ahead, write it in, man.
Because you know Andy's my boy, and I'm rooting for Andy all the way, and I'd happily serve you that crow, yo.
Yo, Ness, has Shannon Briggs ever made you laugh?
From the Bay Area, man.
Yo, has Shannon Briggs ever made you laugh?
Yeah.
You had to have, I know people hate on him and they call him a cornball and they call him ridiculous, but he's funny. I don't know what about him. He's just so committed in his act that it is funny.
Yo, I seen him. He chased Klitschko down on a boat or something one time with that "Let's Go Champ" shit, dude. I was in tears with that.
Yeah, and I'm not even just talking about that. I'm talking about his Instagram videos where he's just doing ridiculous shit while eating and flexing. I don't know, something about him. He just has, he's just funny. Some people just have that quality about them. And if you just if you fused him with I don't know, a more talented boxer. I mean, I'm not going to say anything negative about Wilder because I think Wilder actually does have a personality, but I don't know. Maybe him and Klitschko together, right? His personality with
Bro,
Klitschko.
the answer to that question is called Big Baby Miller, dude. That's the answer to that question. He is literally like above Shannon Briggs, but has all of the.
Is he though?
He's a better fighter than Shannon Briggs. With all the.
Is he
I would
though?
say he is.
I don't know about.
I would say he is. I could only watch tape of Briggs, but I could say that if I saw both of them coming up at the same time, I'd be more excited about Miller.
Yo, really quick, would you guys feel safe approving Shannon Briggs versus Gerald Miller if it all fell on your shoulders, Steven? If it was up to you?
Yeah. I wouldn't put Briggs in there. You know what? Yeah, I would. Right, I'd be like, you know what? Fine. That's safe. Not a champion.
He can't punch really. This is the scary thing is like Lucas Brown could actually really punch, and I know he hasn't knocked out anybody, but a younger prospect like Lucas Brown who definitely could punch and he has some size, I think will hurt Shannon Briggs.
Lucas better win and big. I mean, he beat Chigaev, and it wasn't that beautiful of a fight, but he did well. He should have everything and then some for Briggs.
He should knock him out, and if Shannon Briggs could somehow like win, I guess. I mean, like I said, Ness, you have to call him champ. You have to call him a world champion if you call Danny Jacobs a world champion, because they're fighting for the same belt.
Dude, why you keep telling me that? Like, I don't call Danny Jacobs a champion. Your jokes are so.
Wait, what the hell? Hold on. I thought Ortiz was the WBA regular.
He vacated because he did whatever he did. He didn't want to fight Ustinov or whoever it was.
They're not jokes. I'm just,
What? I mean, I don't. You considered Luis Ortiz a champ when he had the WBA fucking regular.
I mean, what did I? Or I just said he was. I said he was one. I never referred to. 1 second. I never refer. That's actually not true. I never referred to him as a champ. I referred to him as a very, very dangerous fighter that could possibly beat any heavyweight on earth. It doesn't necessarily mean he's the champ.
Sure.
Two different things.
Sure, MD. I bet you were this. Discrediting the way that you are now with Lucas Brown and Daniel Jacobs. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Let me get to some callers here. I got one more. YOLO, talk to me.
Hello, you hear me?
This guy thinks I'm some sort of fool, this YOLO guy. Let me see. We got 650. You're up.
What up, Nest GTO?
What up?
What up, man? This is Victor the Trucker, brother. What's up, man?
Damn, you got a new phone?
Hey,
No. Vic Trucker has been he's been hanging up and calling back in. That's why. I already put his name in the queue like 3 times today.
Yo, you actually don't have a new phone. You breaking up, Victor.
I know, man. You've been dogging me, man. You dogged me a little bit right there, but that's all right though. I haven't called for a long time, so I guess I deserve that. Hey, check this out, man. I got Pacquiao. Vargas ain't no Marquez at all. Marquez is a student of the sport, so no comparison. Forget about that. Magdaleno, Nonito Donaire. He goes in there sometimes with a heart, sometimes he doesn't go in there with a heart. I think it's just catching out. And I got the Valdez guy, and I'll call you on I'll call you on Sunday or Saturday about about getting them tickets to go see you guys over there in Vegas.
All right, brother. That's what I want to hear, man.
Right? That's what you guys talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what you guys talking about, right?
That's what we're talking about.
Okay. So because it's gonna be me and my lady, so I don't know what the price is for that. So, I'll talk to you on Saturday after the fight, and we'll see how much it's gonna be.
All right, brother.
How I can do it, man? Because I don't know. I'm not a computer guy, man. So. I'll shoot you an email.
Shoot me an email, and then I'll give you a call. Man. Put your number in the email, all right? Victor the truck driver. Oh, look at that. Victor the truck driver is going to be at the TBV appreciation party, so that's going to be awesome. What's up, Steven?
I was just going to say that He was calling in and dropping off a lot. That's why his name was in the queue. I put it in a couple times, but
no problem, no problem. All right, so it is that time. We've made our picks officially in the beginning, so there's not much to say besides our outros. I want to thank everyone that called in. We've gotten to everyone, both internationally and regionally and all over, right? So I am your host, Ness GTO. Find me on Twitter at NessGTO and on Instagram. And my co-host and co-producer.
I am Steven Calderon, the producer, and you could find me on Twitter at Calderon92, and you can find me on Instagram at sugar_steve.c.
And Boxing MD, you could follow me at BoxingMD1 on Twitter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we will be back. If we're probably going to most likely be back with a weigh-in show tomorrow and then an immediate reaction show on Saturday. Depending on how exciting the fight is. Hopefully Pacquiao can put on the type of show that we're expecting, or Vargas can deliver another knockout punch like the Saddam Ali, or replicate a few of those Tim Bradley shots that he landed in that last round. And that'll have us back on Saturday immediately after the fight for your reaction. Remember, those are, very quick shows. 15 minutes. We're taking calls in and out. We out of here. That being said, we see you guys tomorrow.